man. Yeah. I don't know. I guess we can jump in and start talking about Siege.
Let's jump into the cold water, Billy.
I know, right? Let's just jump into it. Jump into
You jump into it.
it. But so we tried to do this once before. We did this late at night. I was falling asleep because it was after work, and it was terrible. So I never uploaded it. I think I was planning on doing it, and then I listened to it, as I'm going back and editing, and I was like, "Fuck no, this is terrible." So we are going.
Strydent was sleep talking. Basically, what he's trying to say.
Pretty much.
He was asleep with his eyes open, and he was talking.
It was bad, man. It was terrible. So we're gonna try and do this again, and no sleep talking this time because it's the middle of the day, so everything should be good.
Yeah.
So
I'll start sleep talking next watch. Day sleep talking.
Well, the cool thing is, I guess before we get into that, I guess we can talk about some regular stuff real quick. How is everything?
Everything is delicious.
It's delicious.
It's delicious.
That's good. It's real good. Yeah, this whole quarantine thing is so weird. It's funny how it took a little while to become the new normal. I mean, I guess you do it for over a month and it's routine now, but it's still got weird aspects to it.
Yeah.
But like up until maybe a couple weeks ago, I wasn't really buying any figures. I was literally just doing work, trying to keep everything as simple as possible. Keep the bills paid and just focus on that stuff and try to keep from like going stir crazy. So I've been rearranging shit a lot. My wife is always she's been nesting.
Oh, Lord, so is mine. She's been nesting too.
Yeah, running around and just cleaning and moving things and finding tasks and things. And yeah, so everybody's finding new things to do. I mean, new old things to do to keep themselves busy. It's just so weird, because it's not something that we've dealt with like in the past. So I don't know, it's cool. It's part of what made me before this all happened, I was getting ready to close down and super slow down on doing YouTube videos because I haven't really had the motivation, and I had a couple things pop up that made me kind of think twice and at least try to do a couple more. Then this happened and I was like, you know what, maybe this will be good. I don't want to say therapy, but it'll be good for us, like, as something else to do to keep our minds off of all this craziness. You know what I mean? Because this is the time that you would jump into your happy place, and our collections are our happy place, so it makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh yeah, that's what I've been doing. It's holding on to my sanity, like fucking around with my collection lately. So
yeah. I mean, this is the best time to do it. As soon as you're finished doing your work, you get into your figures and stuff. So no, that's good though. I'm glad to hear that even for you, it's the same deal. You know what I mean? I mean, I know we're similar when it comes to a lot of stuff, but it's good to hear that that's you're doing the same similar thing to what I'm doing to keep sane.
Exactly. Yeah.
All this.
You have to. If you don't do that, you'll start going crazy. Crazy,
It's true. But So Siege. So we had talked about Siege when it first started, and we were both like real big into it because it was giving us a chance to get Transformers at like way less of the cost, in comparison to the third party stuff. And I think I want to say between the two of us, we probably have the whole line, with the exception of like neither of us got Omega Supreme, and we're not fans of the Battle Masters. Battle Masters are so whack to me. But I don't know. I want to just like talk about a couple of them. We talk about the whole thing as a in general, and then just we can talk about some of the figures that I think they knocked it out of the park with. We should start with Prime because I think they did an amazing job with that Prime. He's like every single thing that you should have for an Optimus Prime. They have it on that figure. You know what I mean? Like the proportions are perfect. He doesn't have a shitload of kibble. The gun looks really good, even though I gave him the gun from I think it's a little small in comparison to the gun I gave him, which came from the Evolution Prime from Power of the Primes, I think it was.
Mhm.
So, but the gun looks good. The proportions look good. The back looks good. He doesn't have a huge backpack or anything. He's posable as heck. Like, I was surprised that he could do all the shit he can do. I mean, I was just there's days where I'm just sitting there trying to imitate scenes from the movie, the animated film,
Mhm.
and I don't have any issues, man. Like, all I need is a trailer. That's all
Yeah.
he's missing.
Well, you got the Earthrise deluxe one coming with the trailer,
Exactly.
so that'll be complete. But yeah, I have to agree. I got to say that this is probably my favorite Transformer from the Siege line to transform in my hand and just transform, put him back,
Yeah.
transform, put him back, because it's so everything is so fluid.
Yeah.
It works so well. It's everything. Nothing's loose on him. All the things that need to swivel or pop out of place, pop out easily. Like, I don't know. It's just a very well engineered figure. I think it's one of their best ones
Yep.
that they've ever done as far as like a Prime goes.
Yeah. And there's so many. Good God.
And there is so many. Some people complain about his height being a little bit too small, but I don't have a problem with that. I think he's the right height.
Yeah. He's shorter than Ultra Magnus, and he's taller than the majority of the rest of the bots that are offered. So that's where he stands.
And I think he is actually a little bit shorter, which he's supposed to be, than Megatron. So
yeah, Megatron is bigger. Yep.
So
yeah, I don't even care as long as it's a general thing with them, because you have like the 4, maybe even 5 if you count Jetfire. You have about 5 height classes. You have like the tiny guys, the mini bots. Then you have like that. So you have like Bumblebee and Cliffjumper and Huffer and all of them. Then you have like Wheeljack and like Sideswipe and all of them. Then you have like Prime, and then you have in that same class you have Prime and Ultra Magnus, and then you have what's his name, Jetfire, and then you have all the combiners. In my eyes, I mean, there may be something in there that I'm missing, some character that I'm missing, but in my whole collection, starting from classics, because I ignore G1. I've talked about how much I don't like G1. No matter what everyone says, G1 was like the lemon of the of the Transformers line, in my opinion, because you sold us on characters that were posable, doing all kinds of cool shit in the show, but then you gave us...
And they couldn't do shit.
Yeah, you gave us toys that couldn't pose, but they looked amazing when they were in their alt modes. Because some of those alt modes still hold up today, but their robot modes look like shit. And then when you go online, just like with G.I. Joe, G1, it's the greatest. Get the fuck out of here. It's not. Because I can't do anything with them. I can't. I mean, there's like a handful of them that were a little bit more posable than a popsicle with arms. You know what I mean? And so, so I don't count G1 at all. But from the classics moving forward, and I definitely don't count the Bayverse stuff because it's the Bayverse, but from classics forward, those are about the size classes. And I know there's the different names like, your Legends and your Deluxe and your, Leader and Voyager, and they've been kind of messing up the sizes. But still, Prime feels right when you see him with these guys. And actually, since Siege, they've been trying to like redo the size classes. You know what I mean? Like they've always been doing this since with each Bayformer film. They've been doing this where what was a Voyager back in the day is now like a Leader, or you know what I mean? They're shrinking them down and getting them smaller and charging you even more, which is something we'll get into more when we talk about the Galaxy Prime, which I thought was a waste of money. Like,
it was absolutely a waste of money, time, and space in the line. I don't think you need to compile another Prime on top of a great Prime that just came out.
Exactly.
You didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
It was unnecessary.
And they did.
There's other. I mean, I would have rather gotten Astro Train way in that spot way before, or somebody else in that spot way before.
I agree.
So
I agree. But nah, he's dope. He's dope. It's funny because like sometimes you can tell the quality of the line by how well, and Transformers is never really low on quality, not like it is with G.I. Joe, where like as you jump from figure to figure, there's like a drastic difference in quality. Now there's lines. I remember Combiner Wars was like hit or miss most of the time, because some of those characters I have Wheeljack from Combiner Wars, and I've seen some of the other ones, and I'm just like, ooh, some of those are just, ooh, man, shit. So,
well, it seems like overall, like as far as the Siege line, I think this is going to be one of those lines that's remembered as one of the best lines for Transformers. Kind of like, where people try to compare vintage GI Joe to modern Pursuit of Cobra. It's like there's no fucking comparison.
Exactly.
It's the same thing here. It's like G1 does not compare to the Siege line, because the Siege line is pretty much superior on every single level.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of dichotomy right there that you have as far as the evolution within those figures.
Yeah.
And I think this is a special line. That's kind of why we're talking about it today, because it needs to be talked about.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird because like a lot of the reviews that are on YouTube, they feel like it's just business as usual. Like
it seems like they're bored with it. The line. It doesn't seem like anyone's really enthusiastic about it that are reviewing it. At least as far as some of the reviewers that I've seen.
Yeah, same here.
It's just like, and then they nitpick the shit out of everything. Like, oh, this is a hollow leg. Like, what do you expect? Like, are you not used to hollow legs at this point? Like, do you expect it to be a fucking third-party $80 figure? Because it's not.
It's not, yeah. It's
so,
weird, man.
I don't know.
It's weird. I mean, I don't know if it's people trying to be cool and not really geek out about it, or if it's something else, but like, I mean, it's worth geeking out about. This shit's really well done. The designs are really well done. I mean, I know people were bitching about the battle, like the wear and tear that's painted on in like inconsistent ways, but I mean, like, some of it would be inconsistent. I wouldn't want a figure that's covered in dirt and grime. I don't think that's necessary. If you play with the toy, you'll provide your own dirt and grime. You don't have to do that. Like, I didn't mind the little bits of like, wear and scratches and all that shit that they spray in different spots, or that they painted.
I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. It's not fashion show for Cybertron. It's war for Cybertron. Not everyone is going to look crisp and clean like they just came off the assembly line, for Christ's sake.
Exactly.
Or just popped out of the fucking womb. They are going through war. They're trying to kill each other. Of course they're going to have battle damage.
Exactly.
And the battle damage isn't even that much. So people need to calm the fuck down about that shit.
Yeah. That's how I feel. I was hearing that be like the big complaint, and I'm just like, you guys keep pointing out these little things, and they're not, to me, they're not worth complaining about. Also, if you would rather spend $80 or more per figure on a third-party figure, you still have that option. Why even bother coming back to these so you can bitch and moan about what it doesn't do in comparison to a figure that costs 4 and 5 times the price? You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make sense.
Because they're impulsive and they got to have everything. That's why.
Yeah.
Because they're entitled, and I got to have that. I just got to have it so people will watch my channel. I'm just going to get it because I want to do a review on it.
Yeah, chasing trends. True.
It's a cute thing to do right now. So.
I know, right? Yeah, that's something that's difficult. I remember we were talking about this a while back. Yeah, it's hard to watch YouTube now because especially toy reviews, because a lot of the toy reviewers specifically chase whatever the trend is, and they don't have anything to say.
Yeah, and it's fucking lame as fuck, and no one. I just don't want to see that shit.
Well, there's no connection because
like, who wants to watch a review that's been done?
Yeah, 5 billion times
already before he did it. It's like just don't. You're beating a dead horse. Do something else.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, man, back to Prime. The only thing that I don't like about this Prime is the cavity for the Matrix. It feels like he should have had a better, because there's the Matrix that you get from the Evolution Prime and from the Power of the Primes figures, and there's the little what do they call those, power cores or whatever. You could put that in there, the power core, but you can't fit the whole Matrix properly, I don't think. I think I did it once when I first got him. I might try it again. I could be wrong. Maybe it does fit, but I know It doesn't fit as snug and as properly as the any of the masterpiece versions. Definitely, it definitely doesn't fit as well as like past versions of Prime that have the Matrix in there. Um, so I wish they had done that. But other than that, man, I love it, man. Playing with him is fun. It's like everything that bothered me with the movie, the Bumblebee version, which is still an amazing figure.
Mhm.
It's not an issue with this one. He doesn't have like legs that fall apart because they're not actually tabbing in anywhere. He doesn't have
Mhm.
like nothing is not secure. Everything is secure. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I love that figure, man. They did a great job. Who was the first guy you got? Who's the first Siege figure that you got?
I think the first one I got was Hound.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, mine was
Hound was
mine was
sorry.
Sideswipe.
Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Yeah, and then was Wave One because I wanted to get Prime as my first, but I couldn't find him anywhere, and he was just like sold out when they just came out.
Yeah.
I was like, well, okay, well, I'll just get what I can get because I
Yeah.
want something.
Yeah. No, Hound is awesome. Hound is an awesome figure.
Transform too.
Yeah, he's fun to transform. He's real fun to transform. And he has that like the new school kind of Diaclone feel to him where he feels like a giant version of a Jeep because the doors on the
Yeah.
sides, he's got like these big old like I don't know what you would call them, like escape doors or something like that, or there's these huge doors
Yeah.
on the side, so you don't sit in the front of the thing. You walk in and go into the cockpit and drive this giant Jeep looking thing. I don't know. It's like if you paid attention to like the details on the figure, then you realize that it isn't. Even though it does look like a Earth vehicle somewhat, it's not. It's like an industrial
Yeah.
version of an Earth vehicle. But I don't know. It looks awesome to me. I was like, man, and its guns are awesome. And I was never even
Yep.
a big.
And everything fits.
Yeah.
Storage isn't a problem.
Yep.
That's also an ongoing thing with this line. Storage is usually never a problem with any of these figures. You can peg stuff anywhere. They give you more than enough portholes to do all that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I noticed in a lot of reviews, people complain about where the holes are, the storage holes are on the figures, and it's like you do have the option to not put any of that stuff on them. You always have that option. I mean, they're just giving you accessories that could fit there. You don't have to. You never have to. I don't know, and
exactly.
it's strange because some folks need to be told, but this is where you just play with the figure and figure it out for yourself. You don't have to use those holes. You can do what you want. But
Exactly.
with Galaxy Prime, so my issue with Galaxy Prime is that he's just, I don't remember if it's Energon or if it was Cybertron. Maybe it's Cybertron. But years ago they released that same Prime. I still have the body of the figure. I don't have any of his parts. We found him at a thrift store years and years and years ago. But he's like 3 times the size or 2 times the size of the one they released now. Why would you shrink him down and then charge more? That figure was like $20 when it came out because I was working at KB Toys around the time when that figure came out. I worked there part-time. It was one of my many jobs. And I remember seeing the figure, and I wasn't into Transformers like that. At that time, I was into the Masterpiece stuff. So I wasn't looking at him like, I have to get that guy. But then, like, I got this figure, and I have him transformed standing next to my other Primes, and he's huge. And I'm like, why did they shrink him down when they made this new version? And then he cost like 50. I'm like, I mean, and I get it. This is in line with what Hasbro's been doing. They messed up the sizes, or they're changing the size classes and all that, and then they're charging you more. When we get to Earthrise, down the road, I've got so much to say about that because they did that shit with Cliffjumper, and I've listened to reviewers find all kinds of ways to justify why you should pay $20 for a Legends class figure. Meanwhile, the classics versions of the same characters cost like $10-12, and it made sense, and they're bigger than their Legends counterparts. So it's like, if Hasbro could do it right so many years ago, why are they still choosing to fuck it up now? But when you have reviews like that, you see why. It's because they know they can, you know, because people will go out of their way to justify it. But but yeah, that Galaxy Prime, the new one, like it's kind of lame in comparison to the old one. The old one has more articulation. He has more little bits and pieces to him. He has like sounds and different effects and things like that that are built into the figure. Meanwhile, this one doesn't have any of that shit. It's kind of bare bones as far as like what he can do, and then he's half the size of the figure or 2 times smaller than the original figure, and then he's more expensive. I mean, I know now on the secondary, of course, you know, fans are going to sell their Transformers for way more used than they paid for it new, which doesn't make sense. And we were talking about that earlier too. I'm going to always bring that up. It makes no sense, you know. You should never be paying more for a used figure that's less than 20 years old, you know, than you did for a brand new one. You know, especially of characters that are easy to find. You know what I mean? Like if it's something common, there's no reason for you to ever pay more for it on the secondary. He should just be, you know, relatively enough so that the person can make some kind of profit. It shouldn't be, you know, more expensive than the new shit that's out there. Yet when you go on eBay, when you go on, you know, Amazon and all these other places, people are really making a killing, upselling used figures for like way more than the new ones. You know what I mean? Which makes no sense. I mean, I guess sometimes they do it with the new ones too.
Just
what's up? You're breaking up again.
It's a tale. People that are going to say, "Oh, it's supply and demand," and then you know the people that say that also are the same ones trying not to look like idiots because they're paying those overpriced prices to get said figures. So then they use the supply and demand, and that's why people only say that in comments and stuff, and whenever you're trying to make an argument going the other way, that it is overpriced, which does make sense. It's the fact that they have to use that supply and demand as an excuse to okay their overpriced purchase. That's all that is.
It's annoying.
But Prime specifically, it's like I just don't like the design. He looks fat, out of shape. His head's too small. I just don't like him when he's got all his gear on. Like, looks like a fucking fire truck. It looks.
I don't.
Just not from it. It was an unreason this early. It would have made sense if they made this like a Comic-Con exclusive.
Yeah.
If people really want it, go get it. Great.
Yeah.
But I don't give a shit about this thing.
Yeah.
So it was the easy pass for me.
Yeah, same here. Same here. And I don't mind him as a fire truck. My favorite Prime next to the MP10V is the RID Prime from early 2000s that turned into a fire truck. You know, what is he? They call him in Japan Super Fire Convoy. That's my favorite Prime. That figure, posability wise, awesome. He had ball joints in his feet so he could stand however you wanted him to stand with no problem. He had sound effects though. My sound effects, I haven't put new batteries in there in forever, so I don't even worry about the sounds. But they were the Japanese sounds, even though it was an American release. So he's got the Japanese voice, which is weird. But he's just so I don't know, he's blocky, but he's got the bodybuilder kind of design, and the colors were nice and everything. I don't mind the fire truck aesthetic, because if he's not going to be a fucking, you know, semi, then it makes sense for him to be a fire truck. It's something that commands your attention. You get out of the way to let him go where he's got to go. So, like, it would make sense if you know, Robots in Disguise, the leader of the team disguises himself as an emergency service, like the emergency service vehicle. That would make sense. Make perfect sense.
It does make sense. This world's original design, but this just looks like it's a bunch of thrown together shit.
I agree. It's not the best design. It feels more like a super robot and less like a regular Transformer, you know, or like a beefed up Transformer. What did you think of? Because I know I mentioned the Battle Masters. What did you think about the Battle Masters? Because I'm not a fan of those at all, except for the ones that go to Soundwave.
Yeah, the Micromasters and the Battle Masters, I'm just not feeling. I don't know. Like I said, I got Ravage and I got Laserbeak, but the rest I could just care less about. So uh, honestly, I don't care about them. I the only reason I have those two is to go with Soundwave.
Yeah.
But it's just like I said, it's just like that Prime. It's an easy pass for me. I just simply just don't care about it really.
Yep. It was a hard
Um,
pass. Yep.
yeah, it's just I mean I can't fault Hasbro for doing it. There are extra accessories that are an option. At least they don't come with the figure, so you don't have to like throw it in a bag and then not. And then every time you look at the bag, you're annoyed because you just don't even want it. You know.
Yeah.
At least you can just pass on them and let them peg warm like they are. You
Exactly.
know. So.
What the thing I
And
didn't
the
like?
Micromasters, I mean, unless you're getting like Omega Supreme, like they don't really, I don't know, go with anything else.
Yeah, they're too small.
What do you
Yeah.
do with them?
Yeah, they're too small. I yeah, because I was thinking about that too. Little Strident wanted some of the Micromasters, and I was like, why don't you just get Cyberverse stuff instead? And so then we ended up
Yeah,
settling on the Cyberverse stuff because they actually it's a full-on transformer as opposed to a kind of a GoBot at a weird size that doesn't match anything else in the line other than the other Micromasters. So yeah, it makes sense to kind of pass on those unless you're one of those folks who just has to have all of the things. Um,
yeah.
now yeah, like you, I got the ones for Soundwave simply because I mean, come on, like who's gonna have Soundwave and not have Ravage and Laserbeak and Rumble and all of them? And weirdly
Mm.
enough, though, I don't know. Did they ever do a Rumble? I don't remember ever seeing Rumble in either a
I
mini.
don't think they did.
Well, I guess someone in
I
the
want to.
someone in the comments will educate us on that. I'm pretty sure if they
I think
did.
maybe Earthrise might have done. Hold on, let
Yeah,
me double check because I'm pretty sure that there's some that are more are coming out.
yeah. I've
Um,
seen the pictures of the ones coming out. I don't remember if he was in the set, but he should be because I'm
yeah,
sure.
Rumble's in this set. He's in that Micromaster Spy Patrol Elite Command Unit set.
Okay, cool,
Yeah. So
cool. Um,
it says Transformers Generation Selects, but I
gotcha.
think it's pretty much a part of the Siege line. So
Okay, cool. I'm gonna keep an eye out for that because
they're coming out this month, I think, or
awesome,
next month. So
cool. Something else to look forward to. Um,
yeah, and I think it comes in like the packaging comes in like big like box. It's like looks like a tape deck.
Gotcha. Okay. I think I have seen
So
an ad for that on what was it? God, tformers.com or whatever it is, the one that's tied to Toy News International.
okay,
Um,
yeah.
what about the weaponizers?
No, thank you.
I won't. I mean, not weaponizers. I'm sorry. The yeah, weaponizers like Six Gun
Yeah.
and Cog.
Oh,
I
oh,
love
oh.
those
I'm
two.
thinking of. I'm thinking. Oh, yeah, those. I mean, I don't mind them.
Six Gun's
The
amazing. Six Gun is fucking amazing. I love them.
Six Gun is better than Cog. Cog tends to want to just not stay together. He wants to fall apart at the torso.
Yeah.
Um, and it's due to that shallow peg, and then or not the peg, but it's like a clip piece, like that thin. You know what I'm talking about?
Uh.
It's
Uh
like, all right. So in his waist, like there's like instead of like a peg that would stick out, it's like a thin peg, I guess if you want to call it, if that's a technical term. But it's supposed to like it's kind of like a clip piece, and it clips the upper torso to the lower torso,
huh.
and it just keeps wanting. It's too shallow, and it wants to keep popping out. So that's my gripe with Cog. Other than that, I think he's okay. I think he's a little bit dull,
Yeah. That's why I never picked him up. I
but
picked up Six Gun because I want Metroplex, and he reminds me of like something that would work with Metroplex.
yeah,
And
he's actually his little buddy. Like Cog goes with what do you call it? Oh my god, my brain's not working. Um, uh, but he goes with Metroplex.
Okay.
That's why they have the similar look to them.
That makes sense.
And then Cog is supposed to go with what's the other Titan?
Fortress Maximus.
Yes, Fort Max. So
okay, that makes perfect sense. I had from the beginning I had put them together, not even thinking about it, and then I was like, you know what, that would be awesome. So if I do ever get if I ever can find him for less than $400, then I'll get Fortress. I mean, you know, Metroplex. I'd love to get Fort Max too because I want to get Warden and have Warden be his head. But
oh, that would be amazing.
God, that'd be awesome. But yeah,
that's like I think around $800 you're talking about there between those two.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, yeah, no, man, my wife would beat my ass in my sleep if I did that shit. God, she'd beat my ass with a chair in my sleep.
Why did you spend $675? Well, I got 2 toys. So.
I know
But one's 24 inches tall.
I know, right?
It's like we just adopted another child. That's okay.
I'm telling you, she would beat my ass. We got a bat down by the door. She would find that bat and whoop my ass in my sleep. I wouldn't even be able to retaliate, man. And I would be.
It'd be like Misery. She's gonna keep breaking your legs.
I know, right?
You're never gonna be able to play with those. You're never gonna be a leaf bed.
And I would deserve it too, because like, come on. I mean, I'm an adult. We got bills to pay, and I'm gonna pay that for those two. Get the fuck out of here. It doesn't even make sense. But that being said, I am gonna pay $100 and something for Omega Supreme. I'm not even gonna lie about that.
Well, that's a different story. You know, Metroplex has gone so through the roof with secondary prices, and that's the only way you can get them.
And he's not like Omega Supreme's a better figure.
Yeah, Omega Supreme is a better figure, and I think Fort Max is a better figure as well.
Yeah,
and he's bigger. They're both bigger than him too.
Yeah.
So
and they cost less, but you know, the fans got to rip off the other fans, which I'm so tired of seeing that. But anyway, I'll stop saying that because I keep bringing it back to that. But because I don't want that.
Too.
Yeah, because it's the way it is. Like whenever I sell something, I sell it for less than what I paid, or the same thing I paid. You know, I try to do less because it's open. I played with it. I bought it. It's used. I should sell it for a little bit less, but I try to keep it at least a little bit close to what I paid. Especially if I'm hooking up like friends or people on the page or something like that, then yeah, I'm not gonna try to overcharge you. That makes no sense. Like we're trying to hook each other up. But I noticed that out and about, man, people don't give a shit. You know, I've listened to
they don't care.
I've listened to other YouTubers and you know people in the collecting community talk about that shit, and I'm just like, you guys, man, you're just kind of greedy, and you can tell who always had and you just continue to have, and who is coming into it from a place where they didn't always have, and they tend to be a little bit more fair when it comes to, you know, how they move their stuff. You know, if they sell things, they sell them for fair prices. They tend to hook people up more often, whereas like the other folks just try.
You notice that more on the Facebook groups. Like if you're in like a Facebook trader group or those groups, usually the people that do sell stuff and are legitimate, like they usually sell things at a way better price.
Yeah.
Like eBay now is like kind of like almost becoming a thing of the past, as long as you have that Facebook community group that you trust.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, if it's like a new person, I would wait until they got a couple things under their belt and you could trust them. But it's a good way to make connections with people and, you know.
Yeah. Hook up
trade
your fellow
with them that
collectors. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, so well, speaking on Omega Supreme, should we just talk about them? Or?
Sure. I don't
because
mind.
this is one that we both really wanted so badly.
Yeah.
And, you know, last year the timing wasn't right for either one of us to get this guy.
Yeah. Too much going on.
It just wasn't. There was way too much going on. Me moving and then, you know, all this other stuff. So for me, I mean, I think the timing's finally right again, where I can consider getting him. He's definitely, I think, next on my list to get.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, 24 inches. I mean, he looks like he's taller than 24 inches.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like he is massive, huge, and like I just remember like at your house playing War for Cybertron, and then seeing his big reveal and seeing him in the game, and it's like,
Yeah.
whoa, like that. It was insane,
Yeah.
and it really does remind me, like you saw some of the third party stuff that was coming out with Omega Supreme, and they just weren't that great.
Yeah.
Like some of them were like falling apart, and like the necks were snapping off, or like limbs were breaking, legs were breaking off, and it's like you see this, and I haven't heard really anybody bitch and moan about this figure at all.
Yeah, me neither.
I so I'm assuming, I think the price is, the price is what it is.
It's high.
It's high.
It's
I
not as
think
high.
this.
It's not as high as some of the other things, but yeah, it's up there.
Yes, exactly. It's not as high as something else that was a HasLab failure in my book, but then got pushed through anyway.
Yeah.
But I think this is a reasonable price where I could actually purchase the damn thing.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
And I think you're getting quality for your price here.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because he can do a lot, and then the fact that he comes with things that you can use for the other figures in the line, and it's just it seems like a smarter use of the money. You know what I mean? Like as opposed to just giving out a huge payday for not that much of a figure. Because that's what most of the other big figures have been. Like Metroplex, in some ways, was laughable because of proportions, and like he transforms and it looks like he's just laying down, like he's sitting down.
Yeah,
his legs contorted.
Spread eagle.
Yeah, it's just weird, man. It's like contorted legs, but everything is generally in the same spot. Whereas you need him to look more like a city. And then Fort Max does it right, and it's like, why couldn't they have just done that with Metroplex, And then like, I don't know, the price and all that stuff. It just for the price, Omega Supreme actually improves over the original one a lot, like in every conceivable way.
Well, and just imagine 5 years from now what this thing's it's gonna be like $500
or more, or more.
It's gonna be like $1,000 for a fucking Omega Supreme.
I know, it's crazy, but yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for him.
Me too.
I'm really ready for him. What'd you think about Ironhide? He was a sleeper, good one for me. I love that figure. I like the fact that he feels like the original, but the design is pretty different in a lot of ways. It's like they crossed the original design or the cartoon aesthetic with the War for Cybertron video game aesthetic, and came out with a figure that just looks like a slightly bulkier version of the original figure.
Yeah, I agree. I think what I will say this: when I got mine, I had a little bit of a QC issue, but that's like not a big deal at all. It was just his foot, like one of the pegs that connect to his foot were like cocked out, and it was just molded that way.
Oh wow!
I ended up getting a replacement part, and it wasn't the end of the world. It's no big deal. Cool. So I'm not even gonna discuss that part. It's just those things are going to happen with plastics. They're not going to be perfect every time. So that's not even a gripe. I don't really have too many gripes about him at all. I want to say the transformation is really fun. I like that you can swivel his entire torso to get him into his vehicle mode. I actually like that little swiveling part. I kind of like to swivel him back and forth sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like a fun thing you can do.
Yeah.
But I like how everything hides pretty well.
Uh-huh.
The only gripe that I do have is that I wish when you're hiding the arms with the leg portions, is that they would clip in a little bit more snugly and stay. Sometimes the clip keeps popping out, which isn't the end of the world. Again, it's a nitpick.
Yeah.
But everything else, I think the gun on him looks great. I love that he's a deluxe figure, but he's actually bigger than the other deluxes.
Yeah.
So he's kind of his own size, like he's his own beast. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I dig that a lot. I want to say one of the best things about this line is like when you put them with, like when you take characters that would have been around on Cybertron as well, from other lines, other waves and whatnot. Like I have some Power of the Prime stuff. I have what were they called? Titans Return. I have a lot of Titans Return stuff on that shelf with
Me
them.
too.
And then I have a lot of classic stuff because the essentially the movie characters. A lot of them were offered back in the Classics days, you know. And I love Classics Wreck-Gar, so I still have him. I love who else? Even though he's not the best, I still love my Roadbuster looking like a weird stink bug or something.
Oh, that thing! Oh God!
Because I still haven't gotten around to finding the. I'm gonna look. I haven't really looked though since we talked about it like years ago. I haven't looked at the, listings for the what was it? Mastermind Creations, I think, did one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have that. It's a fantastic figure.
Yeah, it looks amazing, and I didn't. I haven't looked for one. I might, and if I can find him for a decent price, I'll get him. Same thing goes for Impactor. I like the Impactor figure a lot too. You can.
Oh, it's such a quality figure.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, both of them. The War for Cybertron Siege version and the Mastermind version. The Mastermind version looks so much cooler because he's got the Spartan helmet and all that, and I dig that, man. It's so awesome. But one thing I like about the Siege version is that you can, if you fold up his hand, one of his hands, you can replace it with the harpoon because it has a peg right there, so he can have the harpoon hand like he had in the books. And I dig that. That's pretty dope. It's just
he's kind of an amalgamation. The Siege one is kind of like an amalgamation of IDW mixed with the G1.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't believe the G1 had that cannon.
No.
The way it's designed on there.
Yeah, no,
he didn't. That.
Yeah, he didn't.
So I'm pretty sure that it's kind of like they're kind of trying to give the fans both.
Yeah.
In one.
And it looks great. It looks great.
Yeah, he looks fantastic.
Not even complaining. I was surprised.
And he's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
So I was super stoked when he was announced.
Yeah. I'll say this though, like the one figure in the Siege line that made me even like 100% jump on board with this whole thing was Ultra Magnus. When I saw that Ultra Magnus figure, I was like, yeah, I'm getting this line because that Ultra Magnus kicks the shit out of almost every other version that we've had so far. Maybe not 100% the one that the design for the IDW style one that we got a couple years ago from what was that?
Yeah, I'm still looking for that for a good price. It keeps going up in price. It's like $60-$70 now.
Yeah,
I can't.
Which isn't, and it's weird
I can't pay that much
because that figure itself, like the design is awesome, but the figure is not that great of a figure. You know, he's got limited articulation. There's things that you'll find like QC wise that almost every version of the figure always have issues. So it's like a lot that you got to deal with. But this figure is just like, man, everything works perfectly. The parts all stick together. And then when you see him transformed, when you get him from, bot mode to alt mode, it's like, holy shit. Things really do shift around. And like, I don't know, man. They really knocked that one out of the park.
They did.
And he's another one that doesn't...
I thought initially that the clip-on legs were going to kind of bother me, but they don't bother me.
Yeah. Yeah, because they work. I think like if everything works well, then you don't have as many issues, and like it works. It just fucking works. And then I'll say after him, the other one, like Megatron for me, Megatron is probably my favorite character. Or I should say him and Prime are equals, but I noticed I used to have more Megatrons than I had anybody else, which is weird. And then I realized I'm like, oh, I guess he is one of my favorites, so it makes sense. But the Megatron is cool, but he's not as like he didn't blow me away the way the Prime did. But I love Soundwave. They did a really good job with Soundwave. Even I don't mind the weird blockade runner like ship mode that he turns into. He looks like something out of Star Fox or something. I don't know, but people hate his alt mode. I'm like, I don't care. It's in space. It's alien. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? It's a flying thing that shoots. It's exactly what Decepticons typically choose to turn into. They're always some kind of flying something or other that can shoot a whole bunch of shit at the enemy. And that's literally what he turns into. And he has the, the other, all the attachments, and he can release the smaller bots to do some of the work for him too. It's just, I don't know, to me it's not as bad, but his bot mode is perfect. There's like, I don't have anything to want on that bot mode. It looks like the old Dream. It reminds me of the old Dreamwave style, Pat Lee style Soundwave. It's got the chunkiness to him, but it's not too chunky and blocky. The edges aren't like super sharp. The proportions are perfect. The head is perfect. I mean, it looks just like what we all picture when we think of Soundwave. Like, it's so on point. The only figure in the whole wave, the whole line, I guess, that's better, I don't know, that blew me away more, I guess I should say, is our boy Jetfire. That figure is fucking amazing. Man, I still haven't done a review.
He's the perfect size, and he's his own size. Like they got a new, they have his own, like he's his own class basically. I don't think anyone else is a commander class right now.
Exactly.
So he is so much fun to play with, to pose, I mean, the amount of accessories he comes with is insanity.
Yeah.
Like he comes with his battle mask, his chest piece, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 attachments, not including the 2 effects, energy or blast effects that he comes with too, that you can actually separate into 3 pieces.
Yeah.
So I think it's more than worth the price of $84.
I got mine for 60.
Oh, you're lucky.
Because I think that's what he came out at. I didn't pre-order him, but I had him. Maybe I did pre-order him. Anyway, I think that was the price he was when he first was released. It was like $60, like $59.99 or something. And I'm like, yeah, for $60, that's perfect. That's definitely perfect. Yeah. He's 3 times the size of the basic figures, which are $20. Like, that's the perfect price for something that big. And his transformation is fun. I mean, there's little things about the transformation that you got to pay attention to, because things sometimes you really got to work the ratchets to make them click where they need to click sometimes. Because you'll know while you're trying to get him to transform, things will not necessarily sit where they're supposed to sit, and it's kind of annoying sometimes, but once you get the hang of that and you know what you're looking for, he's a lot of fun, man. Like, I felt like a little kid playing around with him, because everything fit perfectly.
Yep. And it just just to even just stand him up, play with him, or just display him, like, you're gonna have a ton of fun even just staring at him. If you're one of those types of collectors that just don't really play with toys and you just like to display them, like, you're gonna just have fun just staring at him. I also love the little idiosyncrasies that he has, like the little flip door to have the Autobot or Decepticon logo on his chest.
Yeah, that's dope.
That's just smart engineering right there, and it's a cool idea.
Well, and it's crazy because I remember watching reviews from like all the other like Vangelis and Optibotimus and all those other guys, the hardcore, the ones everybody thinks about, when they were doing reviews on what was his name? Kronos, I think he was called. The one that it was like $200, but he was like a floppy mess, and everybody was pissed. Lord. And then there was another one. It was like 3 companies made their versions of Jetfire, and like none of them. Well, there was one that was pretty close to this. Like, if you see them side by side, they feel like they're tackling the same exact moment in the character's history, and the same design. But like, one of them was drastically different. Another one was like kind of, sort of, it was trying really hard to like update things. And then there was another one that was pretty much this, but just, with third-party stuff, like the fingers moved, and the engineering was just a lot more complicated. Like, his transformation was way more complicated than this. For me, one of the things that keeps me away from the third-party stuff is that I don't want to spend 2 hours transforming my fucking figure. Yeah. Like when I pick up a transformer, like me and my little brother, when we played, we would do the transformation sound effect in slow motion, and then if we could do it, if we could do it slowly and then transform him by that time, we were good, because it felt like a slow-mo shot in a film. But like, if you do the transformation sound and you have to do it 6 or 7 times or 50 times before you fucking transform the figure, that's not fun. That's like
Yeah.
it missed the point. It's supposed to be workable, you know, like you can do
Well,
stuff with them.
yeah. On top of that, like we're especially like I get if people want a convoluted third party transformation, they want to spend an hour transforming somebody.
Uh
Great.
huh.
But when it comes to Hasbro, they got to be easy, they got to be fun,
Yeah.
and they got to be able to remember that shit. Because I'll tell you this: owning a couple of third party figures, like I just have to still look at instructions sometimes because I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember some of these convoluted ones. Like the Mastermind Creations ones are easier, but as far as like Hasbro goes, sticking with that,
It's
most of them they're pretty simplistic.
yeah.
They really are. I can remember Jetfire's transformation. I can remember pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
They're really not like once you take a look at them, we're like, oh, okay, I remember this. And even if you forget a part, like you can work it yourself and just figure it out.
Yeah, as you
You
start
know,
playing around, yeah, it comes back. You're right.
and like I've actually kind of tried to do that. Like when I get the figure, I don't look at the instructions. I just try to figure out the puzzle that is the figure,
Yeah.
and then just I've done it a few times with a couple of them and just figured it out on my own.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
the other fun. They have a fun extra fun factor with the transformations.
yeah. I try with third party figures. I don't do that as much because you paid so much. I'm like, I don't want to put anything in the wrong place and fuck it all up because that's kind of how they work. If you miss a step, you're gonna break something else or something's gonna pop
Yep.
off. And some of them, their customer service is not that great, so you don't want to have to,
Yep.
call them back and be like, yeah, this didn't quite work how I thought it would. Can you send me a new piece? Like, yeah, they're gonna be like, nope. And me personally, I've only ever two times had good luck with customer service when it comes to contacting the company directly or the people I bought it from and asking them to send me a replacement. Actually,
Yeah.
that's I didn't. One time I had a good experience for Figuarts, but it was the seller, not Bandai themselves. That's how I ended up with two Akiba Reds, and then but the other two times were Figma. I called Good Smile. I sent them my review of the what's her name? Her name is something Hazuki. The chick, she was purple and white, and she had like a sword, and her thigh kept coming loose. And I showed it in the review. So I sent them my review, and I let them know, like, yeah, I can't get this leg to stay on, and they just sent me a whole new set of legs for her. With like, I talked to them maybe once. It was one conversation, and they sent it like next day from Japan. I was like, holy shit! Like that's the fastest response time I've ever had. It might have been a day or two, something like that, but it was quick. And then the other time was when I contacted DC Collectibles after I had contacted DC Collectibles about a couple figures, and I sent my reviews to Kevin Kinroy, or Kinry, I think his name was, and he contacted me directly and sent me a box full of fucking DC Collectibles shit. Even
Wow.
he sent me the fucking replacement Deathstroke from Arkham Origins because his shoulder pad fell off in my review.
Yeah.
He said he didn't have. He sent me a bunch of other stuff because he didn't have the figures that broke because it was a little while past that time. But I let him know that like I had called DC Collectibles for each one, and I was told to essentially bitch at the seller, bitch at the comic book store that they broke. And I'm like, but they broke out of a sealed package. They didn't break in the store. You know what I mean? Like they didn't open them and sell them to me loose. So I shouldn't be having to go through that. You know what I'm saying? With
Yeah.
broken figures. But yeah, he sent me he sent me like 8 figures. It was crazy. But yeah, typically
There's some comic shops that got to the point with DC Collectibles. They were like, we're not selling them. We're not taking any returns on them. We're not selling them anymore.
Yeah, Capital City over
I actually
here.
had a local shop back in Buffalo when I was living there. And they were like, we're not even going to sell them anymore. They just keep falling apart.
Yeah. Capital City told me that. Same shit. They were like, yeah. They were having problems for a while with Marvel Select, and they were having problems with DC Collectibles. The Marvel Select stuff was like when they just started using that weird like combination H joint You know, like the
Yeah.
DC Universe Classics, because like I had
Yep.
to get two of the Wolverine figure. I got him twice
Yep.
because the first time I got him, the hip was starting to come loose, and I hadn't done anything except take him out of the package. So I took him right back the next day. I was like, "Yeah, can I get another one? Because this is all. It's like he's falling apart before I even did anything." And they were kind of annoyed because they were like, "Yeah, you're like the fourth person who's having this issue. We're about to stop, getting them." But then I guess over the years, Marvel Selects has definitely stepped their game up, and their figures are much better now. You don't have those kinds of issues. But yeah, DC Collectibles, man, they've been dropping the ball over the last several years, like hard. I mean, now it's to the point where you don't even see anything from them. The Essentials, I never see them in the store. I know people like them, but it's all one body. And, whenever they have problems, it's like, you guys should be able to handle this by now. You've been around longer than some of the companies that are killing it right now. How is this?
And you're DC's product. Like, come on.
Yeah, like, how are you fucking
Like,
up so bad?
get your shit together, please.
Yeah. But
Stop using clear plastic fucking joints.
Yeah. Cheap clear plastic. Yep. I agree.
We all know. We're both GI Joe collectors here.
Yeah.
Like, we all know how gold plastic used to age. Not well.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with clear plastic.
Exactly.
Certain plastics do not hold up, and it's just get rid of the clear shit. People gotta stop using those.
I agree. Yeah, that's like Funko with the Firefly line, man. That shit broke my heart because I wanted that shit. So, I mean, that's one of the few lines. I pre-ordered the whole wave, the first wave, the entire thing. Right as soon as it was announced, I was like, as soon as it shows up, I'm getting them. And I got them, and fucking I had to get two Zoes because she fell apart right out of the package. I was like, you got to be kidding me. The only person I think I don't have any issues with was Mal. Everybody else, there was some kind of issue, and it was just like, how, guys? Seriously, how? And I guess they had enough issues that they had to cancel the line. I was like, fuck, man. And we didn't even get the whole crew. We didn't get Book. We didn't get River. We didn't get the Doc.
Yep.
I'm like, fuck, man. Come on. But, yeah, clear plastic I guess there's a grade of clear plastic that is worth a damn, and the majority of it is not. And, yeah, they should know better. But, yeah, I didn't have any of those kinds of issues with this stuff, man. Like,
everything is pretty well engineered.
Yeah, which is surprising because typically you expect Hasbro to have, problematic things with engineering, but I noticed that when it comes to, like, your Transformers and when it comes to, like, Black Series or even the Lightning Collection, you don't really have those issues. It was just G.I. Joe where they were, like, really, and sometimes Marvel Legends, but G.I. Joe specifically had those, like, times where things just didn't work like they should. Double jointed knees wouldn't work. Certain hands can't hold guns properly. Knives that have handles that are too small for the hands. Like, all these weird tiny little things that end up becoming big things that just, they could have engineered it better. They could have seen this during the engineering phase and avoided these problems, and they didn't. But with my Transformers, I gotta say, since the classics, I don't have those kinds of problems with my Transformers. There's maybe one or two that, like I said, they don't click in where things don't click where they're supposed to, and you have to sand away a little bit of the pegs to get it to fit like it should. But outside of that, I don't really have many issues, man.
Yeah. Exactly. Same here. I don't have too many issues. The only thing that kind of bothers me is the almost direct repaints that they keep trying to make different characters into, like Hot Shot, which is Hound.
Yeah.
And then Chromar, which is or Smokescreen, who is Red Alert.
Yeah.
Or Prowl, excuse me.
No, it's Smokescreen is
he's Prowl.
Did they do Prowl for?
They did Prowl first, and they did Smokescreen.
Oh, you're right.
He hasn't come out yet.
Oh, and they're all Barricade. Barricade was the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Nightbird is friggin' Chromia with a different head.
Yeah, God, they did like four different versions of her. Good God. Yeah, I'm not a fan of
Yeah,
that either. I avoid those characters. I always do. With the
yeah, and then
exception,
there's two different types of smoke screen too. There's Generation Selects apparently, and then there's which I think is essentially the same thing.
yeah,
But and there's Earthrise. I don't know why there's two separate, but then they also have Lancer, which is I think Chromia as well. It's like, what do you guys do? Stop it!
yeah, yeah. But I mean,
Stop.
they've created that what's the word for it? They've trained the fan base. So that kind of thing. Like you notice when you listen to the reviews, like the people who are like, this is their only thing, is Transformers, they expect it. Sometimes they'll even say that this doesn't look cool as the character who it was first intended for, but it looks cool. It'll look cooler when they reuse it for this character. And I'm like, nah, man, I'm good.
No, no, no.
I mean, it's bad enough that you have the Seekers, who are two sets of variations on Starscream, and then like little weird things like the wings are slightly different and stuff. And I'll take that. I got them. They're the foot soldiers of the team. You know what I mean? I get it. But like, I can't do that for everybody. That's just stupid. That's
that's
dumb.
what Chrome is. Chrome is the paint the fix gun.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, I ignored that. In a heartbeat. I was like, nope. I don't want any doubles unless they're part of the. That's who they're supposed to be, like the Seekers. And even them, I still haven't gotten Starscream. I still haven't gotten any of them because, and this is one of the things I wanted to talk about too. I'm not playing into that whole rebuy the same guy over and over with the Seekers, except for Skywarp, who they always put in like a 2-pack or something with someone else. So you have to hunt down the exclusive 2-pack, pay more because everybody knows that people will be looking for Skywarp because he's part of a trio. Like, I hate that. And when people say, don't buy it from the third party, buy it from Hasbro directly, but Hasbro upcharged you for Red Alert and what's his face, Skywarp, along with a bunch of mini cons that I don't want, like some fake Target Masters and some mini cons or whatever you want to call them, mini bots. That's not my thing, man. Like, I don't even want to get into that. Like, I just want Skywarp. You know what I mean? I want to have the 3 of them if I'm gonna get them. And yeah, like, it was a pain in the ass to find the classic Skywarp. Like, I just got him after watching that figure on eBay for like 7 or 8 years, which is ridiculous. It shouldn't be that difficult.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to keep doing that. It's just silly.
I know, and like we were
silly, typical Hasbro shit, like they did with GI Joe. Take this body, reuse it to the nth degree, and then shove it down your throat.
Well, and then that's the thing. As common as they are, and you pointed this out right before we started recording, Skywarp is common on eBay. Whichever version of him that you want, they're all common. But typically he ends up going for a premium just because. Which is annoying. Like, if he was hard to find, I'd be like, yes, I'll invest the extra. But he's not hard to find at all, especially not on the secondary. And he costs the same price that the 2-pack goes for. Because everybody knows that you're looking for the one guy out of the 2-pack. It's fucked up. It's so fucked up. It's just so jacked up. Oh my god. Like, it's comedy, and then like people will argue and try to give you like all these like justifications for why it is, and it's like, no, it's just the fact that somebody out there. Shit, I did it with my classics Skywarp. I eventually ended up paying, like I told you, I paid almost $50 for him, shipped, because that was the lowest I'd ever seen him for, ever. Like,
that's stupid.
It shouldn't be $50. Like, he's not really worth. It's Starscream. I paid $20 for Starscream, and I think Starscream was like 15 or 16 when he dropped. So $20 for me was like, yeah, that's not too bad. But, and I think I paid about that for all the others too.
For the Siege ones?
No, for the classics ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know the Siege ones are 30. They're all 30.
Yeah, they're all like $32. Yeah.
But then remember they made there's that Target one. I don't remember what his name was. It's like a Target exclusive one that's red and black and white. And he's a little bit more expensive. I was like, really? You want a Target colored a Target colored Seeker? Like, really? We're gonna do that now? How about we get a McDonald's colored one too? You know what I mean? Like, come on. I mean, Burger King as well. Arby's maybe. Like, really? That's where we're going with this? I don't know. That kind of gimmicky shit doesn't work for me. I don't really dig that. What'd you think of Megatron?
I have some gripes with Megatron.
I do too. Yeah.
He's not. I don't know. the cannon doesn't move. You can't move it up. It gets in the way of the articulation when you're trying to swivel the whole head around. I gotta say this, like, it didn't initially bother me, but it kind of does now. The feet sticking out look kind of obvious.
Yeah.
Like, isn't there a way they could have just like folded the feet up and in so you at least can't see them?
Yeah.
But it's like, no, you can't do that. Another thing, he doesn't stand very well. He kind of sucks.
Like, he's back heavy. For some reason, he leans back.
Yeah, it's like weird. It's like his toes are pointing forward or downward too much.
Yeah.
And it's pushing him to like lean backward. It's just a fucking like awkward. It's just a very awkward engineered figure.
Yeah, I agree. His transformation
I'm
is no
hoping that
fun.
the Earthrise one is better.
Me too. I mean, I've seen a couple videos on him where people were pointing out, like, I can't remember if it was Vangelis? No, Vangelis had the cartoon version of the standard Voyager class Megatron for Siege. But, God, who is it that showed pictures of what the Earthrise was? Anyway, someone did, and it looked like they retooled a lot of things with him.
Yeah.
So if they did, that'll be awesome. Because, like I said, Megatron's one of my favorites. And that's a figure that, even though overall, like, if I keep him in bot mode, he's kind of fun, transforming him is a pain in the ass. It's not fun. Like, dealing with where things go is just not fun. And, like, the first couple steps, like, if you don't look at the instructions, it takes a minute for you to really get, like the legs, how the legs work, and, like, all that shit is just too... I don't know. It's just too many steps, and it's not fun. I remember.
Yeah, and it's like you're saying, I agree, because like when you try to like maneuver him, when you have to swivel stuff and move it, or even if you're just like pulling things down to clip into place, it feels kind of chintzy on him. I don't know why, but it's like the only one that really feels like it's kind of cheaply made.
Like it feels like those parts will break, but then when you look at what you're supposed to do, you're actually supposed to put force on those parts, and then they click. And it's like, I don't know if they could have made them give a little bit more or something so that you could, move them and it felt intuitive, instead of having them click into place and stay that way, and then you feel like you're breaking something when you pop it where it's supposed to go. I don't know, it's not intuitive like it should be. But he looks good though, overall.
He does look good. I think the Earthrise one looks a lot better. I know for a fact that you can move the gun up and down when he's in robot mode.
Yeah.
And I don't think that his feet stick out as much as the Siege one does. So
yeah.
It looks to me, from what I've seen with the new one, that the feet have better clearance. So, and he's got like heels that stick out. So I bet you he'll balance a lot better.
It's weird because this one does too. It's just that the heels don't come. It's not flat. So
these new heels are like totally flat, and I think they're on a hinge.
Yeah.
So I think they fold into the foot when you get them into tank mode.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah. And I think, and it's possible this one does too. I should have had him out with me while I'm talking about him. I think his feet do the same thing. It's just the way they do it doesn't work as well as what the new one looks like it will. It's one of the things I hate about some of the things Hasbro tends to do. I mean, at least with Transformers, they do show that they learn from the mistakes and like improve things as the days go on. But like stuff like that with Megatron, none of my other Megatrons have those issues, and they've done a Megatron in every other line that they've done. From freaking what was the first one? Combiner Wars to Power of the Primes to this, you know, like there were no issues. And then here we go. Here's the
Yep.
issues. But yeah, once he's in bot mode, I pretty much leave him in bot mode. And then I have the Power of the Primes version, which I leave in tank mode. So that I don't have to even really think about it. I have a tank and I have the robot, so I don't bother with that. Plus, that tank mode is huge compared to this one. I like this tank, don't get me wrong, but the other one is like this big ass, like Sherman tank looking thing, or I don't know, something more modern. Whereas this one is like a H tank, like a futuristic H tank, which you know it's cool too because it's the Cybertronian mode, so that works. But yeah, I just don't like transforming, and it's not fun. It's not fun at all.
Yeah, I agree. I pretty much, I said my piece about the issues with him. I think he's the one with the most issues as
Yeah,
of right now,
yeah,
or at least from the ones that that we have.
yeah,
Which is unfortunate because I think it's actually a really nice design,
yeah,
um, and it gives off that Cybertronian feel. But I think the Earthrise one's going to be superior.
yeah, yeah. I'm anxious for that one. And did you see the super Megatron that they're releasing? I think it's a Takara Tomy release. Um,
No.
yeah, look up Super Megatron, man. It's crazy. He's like this crazy. I think he's a triple changer. He turns into some kind of spaceship and a tank, a futuristic tank, and he's huge, and he just looks like I don't know, like he's been fucking juicing or something. Like he just looks he looks so crazy. I was like, wow, this is awesome. Like I might have to really get this.
Whoa. Is he like red and black
Yeah,
and
red, black, and gray.
gray?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah, he
That's
looks
insane.
crazy. I'm gonna have to pick
Well,
him
look
up.
at the size of that gun on his arm.
I know,
Oh,
right?
God.
Like I said, man, like he's been shirking or something. Like he looks nuts, man. Um,
Holy shit.
and I don't think he has to do. It's from some. I don't know if it's a manga, but it's something Japanese specifically. It might even just be one of those like concept figures that one of the designers decided to up and make and impress the the design team and get the okay to make it. But I don't know. Whatever it is, it looks amazing. I might have to hunt that down. Um, let's see. Who else can we talk about? We can talk a little more about Ultra Magnus because God, that toy is amazing.
He is really good. I don't know, like I just don't really think I have too many issues
Yeah, I do
with
not.
him. I mean, he is essentially just a white Optimus underneath it all.
Well, he's a white.
Um,
He's a white Galaxy Optimus.
yes, exactly. That's what I
So,
meant to say.
so yeah, so he has a different body from the standard one, which is awesome because then when you see the standard Ultra Magnus form, it
Yeah.
doesn't look just like Prime. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Especially if you don't get the Galaxy Prime, then now you have two different characters. They both turn into trucks, but they don't look exactly the same, which is awesome. I've always felt like
Hmm.
that's the way they should have done it. Two
Yeah.
two completely different. It's not like there aren't billions of different types of trucks that you could have modeled him after, and they just for some reason would be lazy and just make him a white Prime, and it's like go the extra mile and make him something completely different.
Yes.
But yeah, I love it, man.
I think the only gripe I really have with it is that it would be cool. I get it's out of scale anyway, so it doesn't matter. It would have been cool if you could store cars inside of him
Yeah,
or on
true.
top of him.
True.
That would have been cool.
I think you can
But
fit like one. You can put one in there or one on top.
okay.
You can put because I've had I transformed what's his name Chrome Dome from what is that Titan's Return, and
Uh-huh.
I put him on top and he fits with no problem. And then who's the other one? Is it? I think it was Jazz from Generations Classics that fits inside the. If you open up the back, you can fit him in
Mhm.
there as well. So
Oh, okay.
that part's cool. But no, I agree. It should have been easier. He should have been a little bit bigger. That's probably the only gripe. Since the scale of a lot of the characters have been changed, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he doesn't feel as big as he should be. And then because
I feel like he should be as big as almost a little bit shorter than Jetfire.
yeah, I agree.
Like
everyone should be one like a little bit taller, a little bit bigger than what they are, with the exception of like maybe Cog and Six Gun.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Springer. You got Springer. I didn't get him because I still have the Thrilling 30 version, which I think is the best. Period. Didn't you get him
the
finally?
best. I have the 30th. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually got the 30th before I got the Siege Springer.
Okay.
But I kind of wanted both because I was like, I want to compare them. First of all, but I don't think anything will compare to the IDW 30th one.
That IDW one kills the other one in like every.
Yes, it destroys it on a lot of levels because there's some issues with that figure, that Springer.
Really?
Yeah, there's a few issues with it. I don't like the weapon storage on his back. It just with the two swords, which are his blades. His ankles are kind of shit. They get really dainty and they can get really loose very quickly. He's, I want to say, probably on the lower level as far as is fun to transform him because he's a triple changer and it doesn't seem like they quite got it. As far as engineering,
really,
him into the car mode is fine, but his like helicopter mode, it's kind of funky. It's kind of, he doesn't really look like a helicopter. He looks like he was a car, and they just kind of fix things so he'll look like a helicopter. And I get he's got like a funky design, which is fine. But when you compare that to the way the 30th one looks, it's like there's no fun. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Like if you just own this version, you'll like it and you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
But if you own the 30th one, you're gonna be like, why did I buy this?
Oh my god, that's crazy. I thought he looked like, for those who want the
G1 look. Yeah,
like people obsessed with the G1 look, this would do it, 100%. And for the folks who, prefer like a more futuristic IDW style approach, they would want the 30th, because that's the better. That's that's their look. You know what I'm saying? That's their design of choice. Because for me, I like the modernization of all the characters. So most of my collection is full of like modern versions, modern takes on those characters. Even if it's like updating the vehicle to something that, is a cross between multiple things, including the vehicle they may have been intended as back in the 80s. I still prefer that. I mean, but yeah, you're right. I mean, like, he does look like two different vehicles. In the 30th one, looks like two completely different vehicles. Same colors, obviously, but like, he's got like 4 windows on the, his windshield is split into 4 parts as a car, and then it's 2 when he's a helicopter. It's like, what the fuck? That's engineering, The wheels pretty much disappear when he's in helicopter mode, whereas I know on the Siege version, they're still a little bit more visible. So I get what you're saying. It probably is
it's that, and like I said, the weapon storage it's just kind of shit because, like, even when you have him in like the car mode and you want to store everything like that because they engineered it to have him spin, where you put the blades for when he's in car mode, it still wants to flop the fuck around and it doesn't sit tight.
Oh, I got you.
So when you move him, his weapon storage up top, it's like you almost have to just take it out and just use him as a car and pretend that he's just holding him somewhere else because it just doesn't fit. It wants to spin around while he's moving.
Yeah, if you put it on top, I got you. Well, I mean, I guess in the show he didn't really keep weapons up there anyway, so again, it's a choice thing, but. No, I hear you. I hear exactly what you're talking about.
But I think his sculpt looks great. I think his detail looks really nice.
Yeah.
I love the colors that they went with, kind of like a Kelly green with him.
Yeah.
I like that. I like his whether it's his G1 design or his IDW design. I like his design.
Yeah.
And he's a great character on top of that. So, while I can hate on it a little bit, I still and do enjoy both figures. I just enjoy the 30th one way more.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm with you.
So
I am with you on that. What about? Let's see. Who else do we have? And I made sure to get all these guys together so that we could talk about Shockwave. What do you think about Shockwave?
all right, I know what you're going to say about Shockwave. I already know what you're going to say, and we've discussed this multiple times. And I'm going to stick to my guns here because there's guns everywhere on him.
It's true.
So I don't mind the add-ons.
Yeah.
Strydent does not like the add-ons.
No, I hate him
He
with a
thinks they're
passion.
stupid.
I hate him with a passion. They don't fit his.
Now,
they don't really fit how he does things. He's not. His character has never been like an outwardly like look at how powerful I look character. His characterization has always been, he'll do things to make himself more powerful, but you would never know what exactly he did by looking at him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he would amp himself up, and then, you would eventually figure out, oh wow, he's immune to this, or oh shit, he's got an extra gun in his chest. I'm not saying he did that, but it'd be something like that, like internal strength, or upgrade the things that you already can do. It wouldn't be like, look at how many guns I have on my body. It'd be like it'd be like the cannon on his arm now is a null ray or some shit. You know what I mean?
well,
As opposed to
I will give you this. The cannons on the feet are fucking stupid. Okay. That shit's stupid as hell. Okay.
It is.
I don't mind I guess you want to call them football pads on his shoulders. It doesn't bother me. Because I would think he's always upgrading, and maybe if this is his battle mode, he put extra stuff on him so he can battle multiple opponents at once.
True.
That, and maybe it's just a temporary thing, or maybe they got damaged after the war for Cybertron. They go to Earth, and then his Earthrise one is a little bit more dumbed down because everything got damaged during the war. That's what I like to think. I'm like, okay, well, he fucked around with some upgrades. I take the stupid things off his feet.
Yeah.
I don't think I agree with you. He is not worth $50.
No. Yeah,
He's not. He should have been a Voyager figure.
Yeah.
And been $30.
Yeah.
Adding shit onto a figure does not warrant the $50 price point just because you're adding more plastic in them.
Yeah. Do you like his battleship mode, like his freaking Star Destroyer mode?
Oh, you mean his gun mode?
His actually gun mode. It's like the gun upside down. It's a ship
it's
now.
It's a gun upside down. Let's be honest here, Hasbro. You're too much of pussies to actually say it's a gun. So you flipped upside down, so it's a spaceship, but it's a gun. We all know that.
Yeah.
It would have actually been funny if they did that with Megatron too. If they've turned him into a gun and just said, "Oh no, he's a spaceship."
Yeah, I know, right?
He's actually a gun. He's a gun.
Now for Shockwave, I don't mind him turning into a spaceship with a big ass cannon on the front because no one ever really. I don't remember, and I could be wrong. I have the whole series. The 25th, what is it, 2005 portion. I don't like the car robots or future, whatever it's called, after the movie in Japan. I stopped watching those parts. That's when the show got really stupid. I mean, there were some really dumb episodes of Transformers to begin with, but that portion was really stupid. So I don't remember Shockwave being used by anybody as a gun. Mm-hmm. Do you?
No.
I remember him flipping, shooting, transforming back, and landing on his feet. I don't remember him like another character holding him and firing him at other people.
No, he wasn't like Megatron.
Yeah, so I always felt like he needs to be a standalone something on its own that's powerful, that does the damage, but in universe is actually a thing. So him being a spaceship, a fucking, giant star cruiser, whatever, that has a huge cannon on the front, that it works for me. I don't have issues with it. I know what it's supposed to be. I'm not even gonna pretend like I don't, but I don't mind. Like I said, Decepticons, they fly. They always turn into weapons of war. If they're in space, they should be something powerful, and a fucking giant cruiser works. That doesn't seem too far-fetched. I mean, I heard a lot of people bitch about the fact that he doesn't turn into the same thing that the G1 figure did, even though his bot mode reminds them of the G1 figure, and I'm like, this isn't G1. This is a whole new
this
thing.
is not G1, bro.
Yeah, it's a whole new
get
thing.
this through your thick fucking heads. This is not G1.
Yeah,
you want G1 shit? Go get Earthrise shit.
Yeah, wait for Earthrise, or just go back and collect the G1 stuff. You know, they're not stuck on that anymore. They're trying to evolve, and I like.
And they keep trying to do that with every. Hasbro keeps trying to evolve, and people are like, "No, dumb it down, dumb it down, dumb it down."
Take us back.
It's fucking annoying.
Yeah, take us back. We want to go
it's
back.
Fucking annoying.
Yeah,
I want new designs. I've already seen all that shit.
Exactly. Yeah, but yeah, I like the bot mode without all the shit on him. He looks amazing. He looks like exactly what I wanted. Like I gave Little Strydent. I had the Cyberverse version, or whatever it was called, the one before the Bumblebee Cyberverse version that was slightly bigger than the Cyberverse figures. He came in like a really large box, and he turned into like a spider tank with a cannon on the in the center, and you press a button and there was like an effect piece that would pop out of the cannon. I had that one for a long time, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna look around for another one that's more like the what I actually think of when I think of Shockwave. And so I gave that one to Little Strydent. I've been looking around to see, you know, which ones I could get. I kind of want to get the Prime version of him, because he was just like this huge kind of monstrous you know, like an ominous figure, and but he still is missing something. I think he turned into like a tank with the cannon sitting on top of that, which it works, you know, to me that works, but I'm still looking around. I just don't want to dig into the third party barrel. I'm not even trying to.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm not even trying.
Don't do that to yourself in your wallet, please.
Yeah,
unless you're gonna get Warden, we'll get what you really want.
I know, right? Shit, Warden is one I've been looking at forever. Him and Leonidas, and then Leonidas, I can't find him for a decent price, so I kind of gave up on him. And I saw they made a bootleg, and I'm tempted, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, let me wait. I'll wait and see, you know. But yeah, he's cool. I hate the add-on shit, mainly because they felt the need to make the add-ons up the price, and like
that's horseshit.
Yeah, it's bullshit, and that's something. It's a practice with these newer Transformers since the Bayformers that it frustrates me, because like you get used to the presentation of these figures, and then they find a way to undermine the presentation that they created. You know, like the classes of all the figures. You know, like. You know, the smaller figures, the deluxe class should be like $20 or so, you know the Voyagers should be whatever, and you know, as they get bigger, they'll be more expensive, and then here they have a $50 essentially Voyager class figure. Well, new Voyager class figure, which is, it's ridiculous. Or leader class, I'm sorry, that's what he's called. Leader class.
Yeah.
But and then in the same exact collection or same wave, you have Ultra Magnus, who is actually like what leader class should feel like. And it's like, how do they, I don't know, how do people justify that? You know, it just doesn't, I don't know, they're not consistent. What do you think of Brunt? I like him. I still haven't picked him up yet, though.
I haven't picked him up, but you can pick him up cheap.
Yeah.
I think I've seen him at Walgreens for like $15.
Yeah.
For some reason, he's just no one getting him. I don't know why, but
he looks good.
He looks good. I like that he's got his own design. I know they're already chomping at the bit. I think they're already repainting him and gonna package him as something else. But I'm gonna get him because that's him, not anyone else.
Exactly.
So. I plan on getting him. I'm gonna try and see if I can get him for that $15 price point. So,
exactly.
But I think it's cool that you can add him on to like other Decepticons if you need to. He's another kind of weaponizer style, but he's also got his own alt mode, which I think is pretty cool and unique. It looks like something out of Metal Slug a little bit.
Yeah, it does, and it's the fact that it's actually a thing, not like Six Gun. As much as I love that figure. He just turns into a flying platform, and it's like, you know what I mean? And the same thing goes for Cog. Cog is just like a rolling platform, which I guess makes sense since they're like support characters. But like Brunt being a Decepticon weaponizer turns into like a fucking weapon on his own, and then he turns into several weapons for other characters, which is awesome. You know, it fits.
And like his I like that he's so unique with his robot mode that he's got almost like claws as hands.
Yeah.
He looks like a crab almost.
Yeah, he reminds me of the in War for Cybertron, the what did they call them? Remember the ones that they fly at you and you have to get out the way and shoot them in the back because they always like hit something and then it takes them a while to turn around.
Oh yeah,
that's what he reminds me of. Those guys, I can't remember what they called them in the game or whatever, but those enemies is exactly what he feels like. So you could get a bunch of him and they could just be your, you know, like your ground troops for the Decepticons.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like him a lot. I think I've seen him a handful of times out when I was out and about getting other shit, and I just was like, meh. Same thing with like Ape Face. I never really gave a shit about Ape Face, so I was just like, meh. I'm not necessarily gonna jump at him. If I see him on sale, I'll pick him up. But you know, I
gotta say this. I picked Ape Face up, even though I'm not into the like whole transforming into a goddamn
gorilla
animal thing. Yeah. I'm not into what was it, Beast Morphers or whatever the fuck they were called? What were they called?
Beast Wars.
Beast War. I'm not into any of that shit. That shit's corny as fuck.
Yeah.
But like this one, I like his plane mode. Like his jet mode looks great. He's big, he's bulky, he's like bigger than you think. Like it says 7 inches, but like when he is in both modes, it's actually a pretty decent looking figure. I just keep him in his jet mode though, for the most part.
Yeah.
But him being a triple changer is a lot of fun to transform though.
Really, I like. Let me look at this jet mode because I haven't really looked at it. Oh yeah, I have seen that.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, I remember that. It does look good. The one I do like is Spinister. The name is crazy, and I like the design.
I picked him up last month.
Yeah.
And for some reason, he's been like sold out.
Yeah.
And then they had him on Amazon. Like Amazon had like a stroke one day and was like, "Oh, we have him in stock all of a sudden." I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, bye." So I picked him up. He's another one that's really fun. I love transforming him. He's a lot of fun to transform. I like his robot look. I like the fact that he's got the two like cockpits on each leg. It just looks so good.
Yeah.
Like it's just a really cool design, a fun looking figure. Yes, the name is ridiculous.
It's awesome. It feels like the kind of thing, like my favorite name of all Transformers is Slug Slinger. It's such a hardcore name. Slug Slinger. He's slinging slugs at his enemies. Like, that's so awesome. Like, he just sounds like the type of guy who thinks with the gun and doesn't, you know, he shoots first and asks questions later, and that's the characterization. And they say once you take, I think he was a target master, and when you get the gun away from him, he's a punk. Like, it's perfect. It's like 100% the name speaks for himself, and this feels like it's in that kind of vein. He reminds me of the Titans Return. What the hell was the guy's name? He was a helicopter, and he has two guns. God, I gotta look at him and then I'll remember his name. I bought him too. Let me look at my list so I can remember this guy's name. He was like a blue and white helicopter. The headmaster can fit in the cockpit. He had the two machine guns on the sides. He looks just like something like very similar to this guy. I'll tell you his name in just a second. It's like, it's not Hardhead, but God, was it Highbrow?
Might be Highbrow from Titans Return.
Yeah, from Titans Return. Let me see. I'll find him. I think it's Highbrow.
Well, while you're looking that up, I did want to point this out. So I'm transforming Spinster the first day, and I was like, "Oh my god, he looks just like the fucking G.I. Joe Night Attack Chopper."
Yeah, he does.
I was like, he looks just like it. I was like, he essentially is that. I was like, this is awesome. Like I just love the design. I love the guns and on each side of his kind of like, I guess you could call those, I wouldn't technically call those wings, but
Yeah.
on each side of the chopper, it's just a very well designed.
Yeah, they did a good job.
On like he's a fantastic figure.
Yeah, he is a pretty awesome looking figure. God, is it highbrow? Let me look up highbrow because I can't even find this freaking purchase. What the hell? Let's see. Titans Return.
And he's also one of the larger deluxe figures, so he's a really good size too.
Huh.
It says 5.5 inches, but that's kind of horseshit.
Yeah, it is highbrow. Yeah, highbrow is dope. Highbrow, he reminds me of highbrow, like the evil version of highbrow. Highbrow is the weird chopper with the double. He's got the dual rotors, and kind of looks like a.
He's like a VTOL.
Yeah, almost like a VTOL jet. That's what he feels like. But yeah, he reminds me of that somewhat, with some of the design stuff flipped around. You know, like highbrow's cockpit is like on his back, I think, whereas Spinister's is on his feet. Am I looking at that right? Yeah, it's on his feet. So yeah, I dig them. I just dig the designs in general. The two of them look like they would be natural, rivals or something.
Yeah. I like the color, man. I know it's a bit much. Like there's a little bit of, I think there's pink, there's purple and blue, but I think it really flows as like a Decepticon. Like it just gives off that evil, like, and then the face sculpt looks so darn good. He looks so sinister, and it looks really good. It's just an overall. I don't want to say he's probably one of my faves up in the top 5 as far as
I can imagine though.
So far,
he's a fun-looking figure, man. It's like that's one of the things that's missing from a lot of the other lines is that, like, even though the figures look good, even though the figures, they do all these things that people want them to do, sometimes they're not fun, or they don't look fun. They don't inspire fun. So seeing this figure and having like a fun color combination and all that, it's kind of nice. It's old school.
It is.
I think that's what's been missing from a lot of the releases, is that they're just not. A lot of figures are not. They don't feel like the spirit of whatever the line initially was. So to get back into that now and get figures that they're going back to like the weird colors, but they're giving you a design that's competent. Because before he was just like Airwolf that was half like blue and half purple and pink. You know what I mean? Like it just seemed real generic back in the day. Whereas like now, he actually feels like some kind of
he got to his full potential.
Yeah, exactly. So I dig that. I dig that a lot. Yeah, I'm eventually gonna pick him up.
You should. Especially if you see him sitting on a shelf, I would snatch him.
Yeah.
But that brings me to my next guy.
Uh-oh.
My next guy. I got to talk about my boy Astro Train here.
Oh, hell yeah.
A lot of people are dissing the shit out of this figure.
I don't know why.
And I don't think it's warranted at all. I think it's a true leader class figure. He's got that size. He's 9 inches tall. He's on his own. There's no add this to that or anything. Like, he is a true leader class figure. His add-ons are great. He comes with multiple different guns, tons of different ways for you to have him hold the guns, whether it's on his forearms, in his hands, on his back. He comes with a carrying case. He comes with a fucking briefcase, for Christ's sake. And I want to say that my favorite of his modes has got to be his train mode. Like, it's cool that little briefcase turns into like a little like kind of launching pad for him in his space mode, or space shuttle mode. But I actually enjoy the train mode a little bit better because that extra little briefcase thing kind of turns into a little caboose.
Uh-huh.
And it attaches, and he's like a friggin' choo-choo train. It's amazing. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it is. It fits like he's like a courier now, which is perfect, and it looks right. I dig it.
He's like the Destro of the fucking Decepticons. He's the weapons dealer. He's going to transport weapons for you if you need them, you know?
And he does come with a shit ton of weapons, too. I saw that. Like, you could fit all that stuff in his box, in the little box backpack thing.
It reminds me of fucking Pursuit of Cobra Destro. Like, he's all beefed up, and he's got his fucking money bags, and he's got his big gun, and, like, he's ready to start kicking ass, taking names, and dealing weapons, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. What are your thoughts on Refractor?
Yeah, Refractor, yeah. He's cool. I just don't want to buy 3 of them.
Yeah,
I'm kind of pissed about
there's that 3-pack that it does they do differentiate from each other.
Yeah, no, I like the look. I like the standard look because that's what when I think of him, I remember the 3 that look the same and they're like triplets and they act the same and they finish each other's sentences and all that shit. Like that's cool, but like they're also aren't they $20 figures? So that's $60 just for. Yeah. Technically one. They should have been a 3-pack that cost like $40 or something or $50. They're smaller than some of the other deluxes, so they shouldn't have cost more. That's like Cliffjumper for Earthrise. Like they should be smaller figures. Cause like what are they? Like in
they're a camera.
No. I mean like on Cybertron. What the fuck are they? Are they a battle station? Are they a shield? Are they a cannon? Like an emplacement? What would
they're like a gun of some sort.
Yeah. So
they're like a weird spaceship gun thing.
Well, no, I mean when you put them together, they become a camera.
Yeah.
But the whole story takes place on Cybertron, so why would they be a camera?
They wouldn't.
They wouldn't be a camera. They'd be some kind of gun or something else. So why didn't they go with that and make it where they're each by themselves, they're a gun with a turret, but then like if you put them together, you make a bigger gun with.
What they should have done was just release this in Earthrise.
Yeah, true. That too.
And just have them be the camera. That's fine.
Yeah.
But put them in the Earthrise. That would have made a lot more sense. Now their camera makes perfect sense. I mean, you can essentially
you can use them that way anyway.
Just use them that way anyway.
Yeah.
But it would have made sense if they gave it the logo of Earthrise instead of Siege.
Because thematically, he's out of place with everybody else. You know? Yeah. He's a weird one. In my mind, when I first saw him, I was like, oh, cool, because I have my shelves kind of separated. I have the Cybertron guys up top. I have the Earth characters on the bottom. And I did the same thing for the Decepticons. You know, all the space-oriented, Cybertron shit is on top. The Earth modes are all on the bottom. So I know where I would put him on my shelves. But, I was looking at him. I'm like, damn, $60 for a minor character, which at this point he's going to be more expensive.
Yeah. It's a tough sell. That's why even the 3-pack's not selling well.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if it'll drop in price when it goes on sale, I'll probably snatch it. But I just don't feel like spending over $70 right now. So
yeah, not on that. Hell no. And with all that's going on in the world right now, like, no, there's no way. I mean, as a collector, it's hard because right now we're spending a little bit less because we're not really going anywhere like we used to. But like, if you buy your shit online, then you kind of just continue doing what you always did, and this is more expensive, and I don't want to spend that extra. Not like that. What about and you got me to get this guy, Skytread.
Mm-hmm. I think he's actually a good one. A lot of people kind of glossed over him and called him boring, and I'm like, maybe some of the coloring is a little bit dull on him because of the brown.
Yeah.
The UPS brown, but
UPS brown. Oh my god! No,
got a delivery here. It's a UPS Skytread.
It's these shells I got for you.
Yeah. Sure.
No, he's a weapon of war, and he looks like a weapon of war. Like, I don't get what you wanted. Like, not you, but like the people who were dissing his coloring. Like, should he be purple? Should he be like hot orange or something? Because then you'd complain that what tank would be hot orange? You know what I mean? Like, he feels like You know what I'm saying? Like he
Hot
feels.
orange.
I know, right? Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's hot orange.
He just feels. He feels like appropriate. You know what I mean? He even feels appropriate for Earth also because he's a tank and a jet. He looks like a Harrier of some sort. Like
Yeah.
like he's another one that feels a little out of place, even though I understand what they're going for. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't know what it is with the way that the fan base treats some of these designs. It's like they overthink what the designs are supposed to be, but then they miss the theme. The theme is alien versions of all these machines that exist on Earth. So like they could have tweaked that design and made it look a little bit more alien. Like if the plane was a ship, that would have been perfect, you know. But no, I like him though. I don't mind. I don't mind when they cross over and feel like Earth vehicles. I mean, maybe he had been to Earth before, so maybe he's
Who knows?
you know he's seen that shit before. Maybe he watches TV, he gets signals from you know what I mean from Earth or something, and that's how he knows
That'd be
what it looks
hilarious.
like. Yeah, like there's so many ways if you use your imagination to like make some of these things work in universe. So I don't really have that big of a problem with him, and I like the fact that it's 3 in 1. It's a robot and 2 vehicles. Like that's fun as fuck. Like I didn't think I was really gonna dig him because he's so small, but like the more I play with him, he's fun.
Yeah, and he's an easy, fun transformation.
Yeah.
You know, even both modes are simplistic to put together. You know, you got the tank mode. I think the only thing that I have an issue with tank mode is that, like I said, with the turret doesn't fit in the middle. Like there's a hole there.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to go like one gun goes on one side, one gun goes on the other.
No, you can put the gun in the middle. I think you have to.
Yeah, but it like pushes up on the gun, and the gun's like pointing downward. It's like
mine
weird.
Is straight. I don't know. Mine is straight.
Yeah, for some reason mine it's like it keeps like there's that little waist piece when you have it downward and pegged in, and then when you try to peg the big cannon into that middle hole, it for some reason keeps pushing it out of the peg hole. I don't know why.
Maybe you have what I was talking about before, where you might have to sand down one of the other pegs so that it will fit in properly. Because yeah, for mine it's straight. I can do it either way. Sometimes I do it where it's the one gun on the left and one on the right, and then other times I just put it in the middle and put the smaller pistol. Actually, I think you can put both guns together, and then just have a ridiculous King Kong Dong gun on the front of the for the tank. So so I do that sometimes just to make him more formidable, you know. But yeah, I like him, man. He's funny. He's like Overlord Junior, you know. Like
he's like a little exactly. So I can't wait till they do Overlord. He's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, and I already dig the one that they released for Power of the Primes, or Titan's Return, but yeah, I would love to see what they do with him. I wish they did one for Siege, you know, or him or Six Shot. I wish they did a Siege version of those guys because
they're gonna do it. You know they're gonna do it.
Not for
they're
Siege.
Gonna cover this is.
They're gonna do it for Earthrise, or maybe for whatever comes next after Earthrise.
Yeah, well, I'm saying in general for this.
Oh, I got you.
This
for the
line,
trilogy.
whether it's Earthrise or whether it's Siege, they'll do one.
Yeah, the War for Cybertron trilogy. I got you. Yeah, that'll be dope. I want to see that. I really want to see that. Because there's some characters that I don't feel like they need to go back and retread. You know, like the Target Masters, they don't really need to go back and redo those because they're perfect. The only one I want them to redo is Misfire because I couldn't get him because for some reason he's the rare one that he goes for like 99, 80 to 90 bucks for some reason. I'm like, what? And then I read that like somehow he missed release in most territories, like Canada and the US, and he was only released in certain parts. So like most of us never saw that guy in the store because he never came out in the stores where, in our regions. So when you see him on eBay, he's always like 3 times as expensive as everyone else. I'm like, fuck that, man. I don't even want to deal with that. But yeah, Misfire, I would love to get him because he had a cool alt mode. So it'd be dope if whatever comes after Earthrise, he's one of the characters in there. That'd be dope. But yeah, I really don't want them to redo too many characters.
Yeah, me too. Um,
Who
that's
else?
it. Everybody. That's everybody.
That's almost everybody. We talked briefly about Barricade because you were talking about different versions of him. Who else? We didn't talk about we mentioned Chromia and the different versions
Oh
of her,
yeah,
but we didn't really
yeah.
go into her. I didn't get
I
her.
mean, she's all right. I'm more excited for RC.
Yeah, me too.
I think she's a more predominant character. She's a more exciting character.
Yeah.
She does
Sideswipe.
differentiate from Chromia
That's
a little
true.
bit here and there. There's
Yeah.
definitely new tooling on her.
Yeah.
But Chromia is the one that's being reused to the nth degree. Like
Yeah.
they just keep pumping that shit out.
I know. I'm like, come on, guys, relax. It's weird, man. Like certain characters, I don't even understand how they got the attention that they got, but then you left out other people. Like Jazz, you needed a Jazz. They still haven't done a Bumblebee to go with any of this, which is weird, but I like it because Bumblebee has been getting way too much attention lately.
Yep.
I wish they would revamp Hot Rod or something, which I have a feeling they won't because they did him so much justice in the previous trilogy. What was it called? The Prime Wars trilogy, where they had like the Titans Return version and they had the Evolution version, which I like.
Yep.
A lot of people hate that figure. I don't mind it because I had the original, which was a piece of shit, who couldn't do anything. He was stiff as fuck, and like it made me mad. I had to trade. I ended up trading him for my first Panthro because I was so fed up with the figure because he couldn't do anything. He was just stiff. And I was like, what? Like, I expected him to at least be half as posable as Optimus Prime, and I didn't have Optimus Prime, so I didn't realize what that meant. And then when I got him, I was like, shit, I can't do any. His arms move. That's it. I think his arms and his head. That's it. It was terrible. So yeah, I got rid of him quick. So now getting this version, I'm like, this is pretty fun. I know there's better ones out there. The one I really wanted was the, there was a set in the early 2000s, maybe the late 90s. I think it was the early 2000s. It was called, the third-party set is called the Parallax Conversion Trailer, where you add that to the Classics Hot Rod. The problem was if you had the American release, the reds were different, so it wouldn't match because the Takara version was like a burgundy-ish color. It was like a dark red, whereas the American version is that like primary red. So the two things didn't match perfectly. But anyway, if you added it on, not only would he look better in Rodimus Prime mode, but like in bot mode, like his basic body looked better. Like he had bigger, he was more filled out. He actually had hands, like instead of those tiny little fold away hands and stuff. It just transformed the figure even more, and he looked better. Whereas like the new one that just came out for Power of the Primes and for Titans Return, he essentially just looks like an updated version of what we saw in the movie and what we've been seeing in the comics. So, you kind of don't really have too much to want, too much to get from that unless you're into like the Masterpiece figures. But
yeah,
I dig them. I just want some of the aesthetics.
There's also the for some reason, I don't know why, but he keeps dropping in price. He like fluctuates very oddly, but the Mastermind Creations IDW Hot Rod is really good too.
Oh, what's he called? Like
I can't
Scoundrels?
Infernus or something. I can't remember.
Let me see. Let me look him up. You said Mastermind?
Yeah, Mastermind Creations.
What is he called? Oh, Calidus, I think he's called.
Something like that, yeah. But he looks really good, and he keeps dropping and fluctuating in price. He keeps going up or down, or it's kind of like retail price for them, or he's dropping in price.
Huh. I'll have to look into that one.
But he looks really good. He's quality. He's made pretty good too.
Oh, you have him?
No, I don't have him.
Oh,
I was considering getting him, but other things have always come up.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into it. I've just, like I said, I kind of swore off the third party stuff just because the prices just get stupid. I'm like, how is a third party charging more than the official? And that's the way it works. You know what I mean? Like, you can't even really question it because it just is. It's weird.
Don't say that to Bobby Skullface. He'll give you a lecture.
I know, right?
And you gotta understand.
And I get it. I know what it is that, like, supposedly some of the what's the word? Some of the materials are better. Sometimes the paint jobs, but it's not consistent. And that's my problem. It should be consistent. Like what I was telling you about the Super 7 Motu figures. You can't charge more than Mattel and then make the figures less sturdy. You know what I mean? Like, they can't be cheaply made. That doesn't make any sense, because then what am I paying the extra for? Just because you had to pay more for the license doesn't mean I should pay more for the figure if you're not giving me more. You know, like, that doesn't make sense. Yep. Or like when they make a revamp of a figure that you've already done, like the Kamen Rider Skull that I reviewed from Figuarts. There's no reason why I'm going to pay $90 for a $40 figure simply because this is your second try at that figure and things are a little bit better than the last one. Like, come on. That's like, you're asking a whole lot, you know? Like, come on. And then we have, Mezco, and we have, other Figuarts that are better examples of what they're capable of on the market as well. Like, yeah, you can't expect people to jump at that kind of thing. But, that right there is a whole video for another day.
That's a whole lecture on it. That's a whole podcast on its own.
Yeah, man, because I'm serious. Like, it just, the toy industry is broken. Like, it's so broken that it doesn't make sense, Like, there's just no way that, holy shit. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the IDW Hot Rod. I don't know if it's a bootleg of the original. It's called SXS Toy R04 Hot Flame IDW Hot Rod. And he's
where's it on eBay?
Yeah, on eBay, and he's $34. It's
probably
a bootleg, but it looks great though. Shit, and it's the IDW design. He's $34.99. But he's coming from China, so that's like bootleg capital. So yeah.
Oh yeah, it's bootleg city.
But yeah, man. Like, I don't see the point in paying the extra. That shit, it bothers me when they do that. Let's charge you more for the same shit that we always did, or let's charge you more for something slightly different from what we used to do. Like, come on, guys. Like, that's not fair. Give us more, and then we can be like, oh, I get it. That's why I'm gonna pay the extra.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much everybody in
Siege.
Everyone in Siege, yeah. That's pretty much everyone. Oh, we didn't really talk about Starscream.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Thundercracker and.
Yeah.
Sky Warp, though.
Did you get the
it's essentially I got Starscream. I don't have the other two.
Yeah, no, just Starscream. Because, you don't even really need to get all of them in this case. But, I mean, completists will. But, like, you just need to get one to know that, if they did them right or not. What do you think?
I think his Earthrise is going to be better.
Yeah.
I think he's too backpacky.
Yeah, I mean, kind of has to be this design.
He does, and I get that. I'm not, but for some reason it bothers the shit out of me when it's like all I'm doing is folding legs and moving a torso. And then on top of that, like, the chest piece pops off way too easily. They should have put a pin through that.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
To keep that. That shit is annoying as fuck. When it keeps popping off when I'm in the middle of a transformation. It's like, come on, guys, how did you miss this one?
Yeah. That sucks.
But I don't think he's as bad as Prowl. Prowl, I think, is. I really don't like that figure. I think it's one of the worst.
I think the worst figure is that leader class Optimus Prime, Galaxy Optimus Prime, or whatever he's called.
Yeah, that thing.
I don't like that one because I feel like it's just that was a cash grab and a half. More so than what's his face, than Shockwave, because He just like he doesn't even fit the aesthetics of this
Hey,
particular
hey,
line. Huh?
hey. I said, hey.
I know people are gonna get all mad, but it's true. Like he doesn't fit the like the line doesn't go in that direction in the Armada Cybertron Energon direction. And you just pull a
Yeah.
design from that and throw it in here, and you're like, hey, here you go. For all you guys who want to
Yeah,
have
it's
another
weird.
figure to get, it's like this doesn't even fit. Why is he looking like that? What made him look like that? Like what's the catch? What's the thematic reasoning for him to be like this in this story? Because I almost
I mean, the
guarantee you,
only thing I can think of is that maybe they're going to explain it on the show.
I doubt
I
it.
don't know.
I doubt it. I almost guarantee you because I don't know. I almost guarantee it's just going to focus on that other one and that's it, the regular one, because that feels like a gimmick toy. It just, like I said, aesthetically, he doesn't even fit with the
It's
aesthetics.
essentially a way to just charge people $55.
Yeah, like to throw in an extra thing for you to get for those who want to complete the whole set, and get everything.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, there are aspects of him that fit. Like, the cab definitely fits because it's Ultra Magnus. But, like, the space fire engine with the two cannons that look like water cannons, like, that doesn't even fit because why would you have that on Cybertron? That doesn't even fit.
Oh, you're talking about him. I think you're talking about Shockwave.
Oh,
still.
No. Shockwave, I'm saying, like, he's more of a cash grab than Shockwave because Shockwave, at least the real Shockwave, is underneath all that shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Whereas this, it's like this is all
that
unnecessary.
shit doesn't make any sense. It's just throw shit in a box and call it a day.
Yeah,
people will buy it.
I love when they make a character or make a figure and it's a one-off and it's unique and it gets to stand on its own merits and you don't have to worry about what it might be like if they repaint it to be someone else. No, he is who he is. Like I'm all for customizing. I understand that is a thing people like to do. I've seen some amazing customs. I've highlighted customs on my show. Like I let people know there's people that do amazing work. And there's other people who do okay work and then overcharge the fuck out of people, which is the majority of customizers. And
then, my God, so much.
And then there's, figures that like a company will do a figure that is just the 100% essence of the character. You don't need to do anything else. And I felt like the regular Seige Prime is one of those. He completely feels like what we've always wanted in a standard Prime without giving you the generic standard Prime. He looks different enough. You can do weird shit with the wheels to make him look like a futuristic floating truck thing. He's got little gun things where the headlights normally would be. He's got like just so many little elements to his design that like it's a throwback to the original figure, and then it's also something else. And that's literally what this line is supposed to be. And then they do that dumb shit with this weird whatever he's called, the leader class one that's just too, I don't know, out of place.
Fat, out of shape, like he ate too many cheeseburgers. So big. That's a thick with two C's boy.
I know, that's a thick boy. He's a healthy boy. Oh yeah, that boy thick. Yeah, he is a little too much. It's too much. And then the fact that you're reusing Ultra Magnus parts, that pisses me off. Because that Ultra Magnus is so on point. And then now you cheapen him by making another figure that reuses. I don't know. I have that feeling about those kinds of, repaints and reuses of characters. I hate it. Because it cheapens the original character. Because you now have too many of them. Even in Transformers, if there's a character who like is supposed to be there's multiple like repaints, I'll get the previous version and then another version and then another version so that they all won't be exactly the same. You know what I mean? The only time I didn't do that was with the Seekers. I was like, I want the classic Seekers. I've always wanted the classic Seekers. So over the last like 8 years, I have tried to find and I found the classics Seekers, So that's the only time. Outside of that, every other character who is part of like a group and they're supposed to be similar, like my Cliffjumpers and my Bumblebees, they're all different. You know, I have Classics Bumblebee, and then I have Prime Cliffjumper. Then I have I have the movie Bumblebee, and then I have the Earthrise Cliffjumper, because I don't want them to be 100% exactly the same. I hate that. It cheapens, you know, my enjoyment. So, you know, I've even avoided that with like some of these newer figures, like Hardhead and what was the Decepticon version's name? Because Hardhead's one of my favorites. Like, ever since I saw that character the first time, I was like, man, I gotta get him. Let me see. It's Titans Return, Hardhead. And I know the other one will pop up too. Where is he? Hardhead is the green and gray tank. You know what I'm talking about? He's like a tank that looks kind of like the he kind of looks like the Snyder verse Batmobile from Justice League. That's 100% what I see when I see him. He just doesn't have the missiles on the front. Did it drop? Did the call just drop?
No.
Oh, okay, you're still there. What is this guy's name? Where is it? I will find it. What the fuck? Not Chrome Dome. Let's see. I just have to search a little bit because he always pops up in these searches. But yeah, you know, those two. There's two. Almost every single Titans Return character, they did like a good guy and a bad guy. You know, like a repaint. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna get them because I don't want doubles of my characters. Like, I want them to be unique, you know, and each character I want them to stand on their own. Quake, that's his name.
He kind of looks like he'd be like a fucking 90s G.I. Joe vehicle.
Yeah, exactly.
With Quake, the colors and shit, like Mega Marines or something.
Exactly. Yeah, because remember that one, that transport APC or whatever was those colors?
Yeah.
But yeah, we were talking about the APC, the monster. Was it the Monster Wars APC or something like that? Monster Blaster. Yeah, there you go.
From Mega Marines.
Mega Marines, yeah, because you reviewed it. I remember you reviewing it. That's what he looks like.
I love that thing.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's definitely awesome. That's one of the ones I forgot about. I need to go back and... I want the one, the Iron... What were they called? The Iron Grenadiers version. It's like black.
Yeah, that one's sick.
I want that. I forgot all about that. I'm glad you mentioned it because now I can go look it up.
I think that's actually the cheaper version too. I think for some reason the Monster Blaster goes for like crazy prices all of a sudden.
Really?
Yeah, it's stupid.
That's stupid.
It goes for like $100 now. I was like, what? I got this shit for like $30.
Yeah. Yeah, that APC, I gotta get that thing. I just don't remember what the name of it is, and I did a search and it didn't.
Modern figures fit right in it. If you look up Monster Blaster, it'll come up.
Okay. G.I. Joe Monster Blaster APC. But so I guess since we're coming to the end of this video, and we always, you know, talk about random stuff, I am about to review the what was that helicopter, the big ass helicopter from True Heroes that was released way back when.
Oh, the gray, what's it called? It's like gray and black.
Yeah, the gray and black one. I got the new version that was released under Hero Force or Soldier Force or whatever they're called now. I think it's Soldier Force. I got it last year, and I mentioned it when I got it. I think I might have posted a picture or something on the Strydent page, but I had never got around to it because I was kind of getting tired of all the Joe everything all the time. But I'm finally getting around to it, and I'm gonna review that thing because it's definitely a beautiful vehicle that does a lot.
It is, and it's huge. It's way bigger than people like. The photos don't do it justice.
Exactly.
It's big.
Exactly.
It's like on par with the fucking AC-130.
Exactly.
Almost.
Yeah, so I use it for like Mercs and sometimes Cobra just because they don't really have a ton of that kind of stuff. Um,
Hmm.
but it's fucking dope. It's super dope.
Oh, the Iron Grenadier one.
It's the
It's
bats.
from Venom vs. Valor. What a
Oh,
surprise, right?
that makes sense.
One of the best lines that's overshadowed all the time.
Yep.
It's just called the. I think it's just called the Venom vs. Valor APC transport.
The bat transport. That's what it's called. The
That's what
bats
it is. Okay.
APC transport. Yep. I found one for $75, and I actually have the bats that are the same, like design, similar design or similar paint scheme. I have a couple of those. Not that I need them to be exactly the same color. I'm not a fashionista Joe collector, but
There's one for 64 right here.
oh, you found one? Maybe I'll
Oh
see it
wait,
when I click on it.
yeah, it's $15 shipping on top of that. So
Oh, fuck that. I hate when they do that. eBay needs to outlaw that shit because it doesn't make any sense.
well, it's people that just don't want to put free shipping with things. It's just
Yeah, they could easily just figure it into the shipping or into the price in general. But yeah, man, that one's pretty cool. I can't wait to do the thing because it is huge, and you even get a what was I about to say? You even get a little armored. It's not an APC, but it's like a small tank with the with that helicopter.
yeah.
And it came with like 4 guys, and then on top of that, I got the cheapo one for Little Strydent, like the Kids Connection one, where it's like if you chop that one in half lengthways, they made the same vehicle with all the same parts and everything. I was like, huh, it's pretty dope. I was like, wow, they really went in for this one and like put all the little pieces and like it came with a bunch of dudes. It came with like a truck, this big ass like APC, like a what do they call it, like a IED removal APC. Came with like guys with like paratroopers and stuff. I was surprised. I was like, wow.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it came with a bunch. I mean, like the guys are cheapo figures, but like if you were into like repainting the vehicles, kind of like what human mechanism is into, you would be able to make some really dope shit with that. You know, it's a pretty dope, well done, sturdy ass set of toys. So, yeah, man, I'm pretty geeked about it because I can actually get into showing people like, you know, what this is all about, and you know, it's something that you also can find at Targets. You know, if you're lucky, you'll run into it there because that's where I saw it. It was in that little section that's near where like usually the NECA figures are. There's like a section with like Lego architecture sets and like Playmobil and stuff like that. It's near where like Power Wheels and shit would be. They had the that's where they have a lot of this Hero Force stuff now. So yeah, I was kind of geeked. I was like, wow, I'm surprised that this was a thing. And I may do some other vehicles down the line. I'm not jumping full force into like GI Joe stuff, only because it's just I don't want my channel's not a Joe only channel, and for some reason, that seems to be what I'm referred to as, and it's like I've done way more other stuff. And
No, you haven't.
I know, right? It's gotta be GI Joe or nothing.
You've never done any DC stuff.
I know, right? No.
No.
Never that. But
I'm still looking for that damn True Hero sub, man. Now the prices are fucking like retarded.
Yeah, they have gotten ridiculous. Yeah, they've really gotten ridiculous. I wonder, like, there is a version of it that I see in Target as well.
Like, I just want a version of it.
Yeah, I see the version that I've seen at Target doesn't have the it doesn't have all the tiger stripes on it. I think it's solid. It's a solid color. It's also Soldier Force or Hero Force or whatever they're called now. But yeah, it looks pretty good, and it's still $50. So you might be able to find it.
I need it in my life.
You know what? Probably when all this blows over next year when we go to the toy show, I almost guarantee you'll find it there.
Yeah.
Almost guarantee it.
I'm hoping.
Hopefully this will all be blown over by next year.
It fucking better be. I'm getting tired of this horse shit. Although I will say this, it is a lot nicer driving around.
Yeah, true. Very
There's
true.
nobody on the streets.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like, yeah, I noticed it the other day. I went to Target to pick up prescriptions, and like the whole way there, I didn't even have to contend with like shitty drivers or people taking up 2 lanes, not paying attention because they're on their phones. Like, it was none of that shit. So, yeah, I'm not that. That doesn't hurt my feelings at all. I like that. But just the being stuck at home, like, I like being with my family and stuff, but at the same time, I enjoy having the freedom to get up and go when I want to go do stuff. Like, God, it sucks. I'm an introvert and all, but fucking
me too.
Like, I need to have a break from that too.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'll stay home all the time. I don't care. I'll never leave the damn house. It doesn't bother me one bit.
Oh my God. Yeah, I need to be able to change up, man. It's weird, man. Like, and also like, we like to go to like Big Fun and places like that. I can't go because they're not open because of all this craziness. So,
yep,
it'd be nice to be able to jump back in and be able to go do stuff. Yeah, I'm not finding this thing, man. This APC.
I'll send you a link.
Let me see. G.I. Joe V versus V APC. Nothing.
You gotta type out Venom versus Valor. Sometimes it's very specific.
Yeah. Let's see.
There's 5 of them on.
Oh, I found one.
Now.
Yeah, I found one. $58.50, $10 shipping.
It's not complete though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's missing. No, the gun. Oh, it's missing some of the doors on the back.
And the gun is snapped off.
$69 with $12 shipping. Jesus. I guess I'm just gonna have to watch because some of these are way more expensive. I just don't want that other. I don't want the green one necessarily because I want it for Cobra.
Mm-hmm.
Razor Claw. Valor versus Venom, Razor Claw. But anyway, before this turns into a full-on hunt for G.I. Joe stuff, yeah, I think that's it for us, man. Like, Siege is pretty dope. It's kind of fun because it I don't know, it just brings back that kind of old school feel, like what it felt like to collect Transformers back in the day, where if you like the vehicle mode and you like the bot mode, you can definitely kind of believe that you're going to get a fun figure. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you have to do too much research to find something that's going to be fun for you. You know what I mean? Like, they work. They all work. That's the best way to put it. Like, I don't have hardly any issues with all the ones I've bought, and like I said, between the two of us, we've bought almost all of them. So, I don't know. I think if people...
Oh, before we go, you got to tell everybody what you think about Cliffjumper.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. So, Cliffjumper's offered in the Earthrise line, or wave, I guess, of the Cybertron War for Cybertron trilogy. Cliffjumper's one of my favorite Transformers characters, and for some reason, lately he's been getting a short end of the stick, but this figure is like, I guess for G1 people, it would be their dream come true because it's pretty accurate to the G1 figure, and it comes with some gear that's a throwback to like 10 seconds out of one of the early episodes of Transformers, which is weird because it's like he never used this. It's like the hydrofoil mode. He never did it again, ever, at all in the rest of the series. And they committed it to plastic here. And so I was like, man, I got to get this because it looks so good, and he's a little bigger than, the older one. But essentially, he's Legends size.
Yeah.
But he's a full $20.
It says 5.5 inches, but that's bullshit.
It's bullshit. He's smaller than that because he's smaller than the Classics Bumblebee. And if you remember, Classics Bumblebee was about 5 inches tall. So $20 for a Legends figure, like he stands head to head with like Brawn and Sea Spray and Beachcomber from Power of the Primes, like the Legends class versions of those guys, or Titan's Return, I think it was. There's no reason why he should be $20. Why is he $10 more than the Legends from the previous lines? It doesn't make sense. I mean, he doesn't even come with that much stuff. It's one gun that
and
you
there's
can
a
break
whole
apart.
lot of access packaging in that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It's like you see this teeny little figure, and then there's like all this cardboard everywhere.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, he's dope. Like all the detailing is dope. He actually looks the part. I can't remember what vehicle he's supposed to be. He's not a Porsche. It's something else. It's a
he is supposed to be a Porsche 944, I think.
He was, but the design that they went with it's a God, what was the vehicle? Anyway, it's an old Mazda something or other, and I can't remember which.
RX-7 one.
Maybe I'll have to check with. I learned
that's the only thing I can think of, because it definitely looks like an RX-7 with flip up headlights.
Yeah, well, I should say it's a cross between two vehicles, so it's got aspects of one, but it's predominantly this Mazda, and it's like something that like. Apparently, a couple people corrected the Lazy Eyebrow reviewer when he said it was a Porsche. And everybody was like, a bunch of people were like, nope, it's specifically this one with these headlights. And then we found pictures, and it was like, holy shit, like it is. It's like 100% this particular vehicle. But anyway.
If you look up 1990 Mazda RX-7, that's what it is.
Maybe that's what it was. I can't remember.
That's what he is.
1990 Mazda RX-7. You might be right.
That's essentially what he is. Not essentially, but that's what he is.
Yeah, with the scoop and everything in the front. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's along those lines. The one I'm talking about though is even more. The Mazda that I'm talking about, it's a Japanese. It's a specific model that was released in Japan, and it has even more of the body type. You know, the body type is even closer to the figure than this particular, like the actual, RX-7. I'll find it and then I'll send it to you. But yeah, it's like this. But anyway, he looks amazing. But he's a fucking Legends figure, and he's $20. Yeah. And they're trying to convince you that, like, I've watched reviews where the reviewers are trying to convince us that it makes sense, that it's worth that. And I'm like, no, it's not worth that. It doesn't make sense. It should be, half the price because he's half the figure. So for me, I don't think that's cool. And like when I got him, I thought, because I was getting him early, it would be, super, awesome. I ended up getting him mad late. I bought him early, but he didn't get to me until, well after everybody else had reviewed him. So I was kind of like, fuck, man, this sucks. But, because I was thinking I would be one of the first people to review him. But yeah, it took forever for the figure to get to me. Yeah, like it just doesn't seem right for them to do this. And it's in line with what I was mentioning earlier, where we were talking about how like they've swapped around the classes so that they can charge you more for less figure. If you look at what a Voyager was, 5 years ago versus what a Voyager is now, or even leader class, like all those leader class primes from the movies that had all the weird attachments and features hidden in his arms and things like that. They used to be huge. And then you look at the leader class figures now, and they're not really that big, and they're charging you more money. It's something that I wish they would stop. I know they won't, because or maybe the vehicle might have been a Mitsubishi something or other. But anyway, either way, I wish that people would kind of say something, do something, stop picking up figures that are overpriced, so that Hasbro gets the idea. They understand that, like, yeah, it's a Starion. That's what it was. The Mitsubishi Starion. It's a cross between the Starion and the RX-7.
It looks more like a Starion than an RX-7, actually.
Yep. But anyway, I wish that I don't know. Maybe we need to try to do something about that, because it's ridiculous. Like at first I was so geeked that I didn't think about it. Then the more I played with him, I'm like, I paid $20 plus shipping for this figure. Meanwhile, like,
Yeah.
I bought a bunch of Legends figures for my son, and online I paid less for them than what they went for in the store because they're tiny little figures. You know, I paid $5 for Wind Charger. I bought Wind Charger, Sea Spray, and Brawn all together, and I didn't pay $20. I think, like, not just the cost of the figure. I think with shipping, I ended up paying a little over 25, something like that. But like, now I'm paying $20 for one Legends classed figure because he's a face character from the first couple seasons of Transformers. Like, that doesn't even seem right. And it bothered me. It still bothers me because, like, after the fact, I feel like, you know, because I'm big on getting my money's worth, and, you know, he's worth picking up. I just don't think he's worth $20.
I don't think he's worth $20.
Yeah, $20 is a stretch. And you're going to hear a lot of people, if you go watch reviews on him, a lot of people are going to go out of their way to convince you that he's so well done that it's worth spending the $20. And I mean, I guess if you got it like that, then maybe, you know. But even so, you work pretty hard. You want to get your money's
Well,
worth.
some people, I see some reviewers go, well, it's a $20 figure. Well, it's a $20 figure. And use that excuse like it's okay. And then eventually it's going to be a $30 figure, and then
Exactly.
$35 figure. And then, oh, it's only a $40 figure. And then,
Exactly.
yeah. It's like, no. You draw the line somewhere.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Are you getting exactly what you would have got with Ironhide that you're getting with Cliffjumper? You are not.
Exactly.
So therefore, he's not a $20 figure.
Exactly.
So,
and like, you know, and I know people like to nitpick, and they'll find things to, you know, to say that could have been better or could have been worse or whatever. I couldn't find anything with him that I needed changed. I feel like his transformation is awesome. The accuracy to the Starion is pretty awesome, because I remember seeing pictures of these in like old, like, you know, road and track magazines and shit back in the day. I don't think I've ever seen one in real life. Maybe I have. Maybe it wasn't a Japanese only vehicle. I don't remember, but I know I've seen it before, and it's 80s. It's an 87 vehicle. You know what I mean? Like, it's 80s. It's perfect for Earthrise if they're being era like accurate. You know what I mean? Like, if they're coming to Earth and it's 1980s Ohio like it was supposed to be, like in the books and in the cartoon, that's fucking amazing. And if they stick with the 80s vehicles, that'll be even more amazing, you know? But I just don't feel that the price makes sense, especially when he's the smallest guy in that whole wave next to the mini, whatever they're called now. It doesn't make sense. So I don't know. It's just something I had an issue with. When I review him, I'm going to retread this, my issue, because it needs to be said, because not enough people are speaking up that this is even a problem. They're just taking it because that's the way it is. And I'm just like, nah. Nope.
Yeah. There's a couple that I respect, like T-Man brought it up.
Yeah.
There's a couple that I've watched, but for the most part, the majority of people are like, oh, no, it's good. It's fine.
Yeah, it shouldn't be like that, man. It shouldn't be like that. And I would like to do that more often. Maybe the whole "is it worth it" piece will be something I'll add to the videos. We can probably both do that, because you mentioned it a while back, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
We're thinking about doing like going through the like action figure lines and going through, is it worth it or not, or was it worth it or not, for that matter. We'd even do past lines, you know.
Exactly. That'd be awesome, because like, I think a lot of people are used to overpaying, and they don't realize that what you're getting now versus what you used to get, or what you get with this line versus that line, you get less. Like when I just got a bunch of Super 7 Motu stuff, the stuff for the movie, whereas like the movie was a big deal when I was a kid, and as I got older I liked it less, but I love the designs. So like on their own, done as Motu action figures, they're amazing. With the film misses a whole bunch of opportunities, and if you ever read the original script or any bits of the original script, you'll be blown the fuck away. So when I got these, I was telling ODC, I read the back of the package, the little bios that they have, and they explain plot points from the original script that would have made the movie legendary.
Yes.
And if you've collected Motu stuff for a long time, you have elements that they mention. There's characters they make reference to. They talk about He-Man wearing new armor that was forged in the pits by, under the, what do you say? Let me make sure I say it right. He's wearing new armor that was crafted in the Great Forge with the fire of Granomir and the Spilian Metal Masters of Lord Dactyls. So a lot of Granomir is the big red dragon. They released a figure of him. He's huge. He's super expensive now. So I doubt if you don't have him, you're going to be able to find him for a cheap price. Lord Dactyls also went up in price. He's the big bat-looking dude. These are all characters that, like, we kind of saw them in the old days. You definitely saw them in the 2004 series or 2003 series, whatever that was. And, like, imagine seeing them in the film in live action. It would have been amazing, Things like explaining what his armor was, why he was wearing different armor. What happened to him to make him a rebel leader when before the Masters are like just the guardian force of Eternia? Why is he a rebel? Why are there rebels now? What's going on? They explain all that in 3 of the fucking bios. And none of the reviewers reviewed this stuff. But the point I was getting at, though, is like the figures themselves from Super 7, even with all that cool stuff, they're not necessarily better quality than what you used to get with Matty. Like, none of my Matty Collector figures have broken or fallen apart, or pieces that are glued down have come off. But I already have that shit happening with these, and I got them on Thursday, this past Thursday. That doesn't make sense, and they're like $20
It's
more.
ridiculous.
$20 more than what you pay for Matty figures. You know what I mean? Like when they're brand new. I think Matty figures were like $30-$35, whereas these guys are 50 plus right off the bat. I got them cheaper than that. That's the only reason why I picked them up. I got them from Kokomo Toys for under the $50. I think I got them for just about 40 altogether. So I was like, I had to jump on them because they were cheaper. But yeah, typically still 40. Why am I paying where did the $5 extra go? The sculpts aren't that much better because they're still Motu figures. Articulation is exactly the same as before. Everything's the same, but the figures are more expensive. And when you see them on the secondary, there's people already selling these guys. They were only released a couple months ago, maybe a month or 2 ago. And there's people selling them for well over the $50. I mean, I've seen a Skeletor on there for over $100. I've seen He-Man figures going for well over $100. The God Skeletor going for $90 and shit. It just doesn't make any sense. There has to be some kind of, I don't know, like regulation, some kind of I shouldn't say regulation, but just some kind of standard, because people are just getting ridiculous with it, and the quality needs to meet the price. And I talk about this all the time, which is why we're going to do that segment going forward where we talk about if it's worth it or not. And this is where I decided to cut us off a little bit because we were going into the 3-hour territory. Actually, we went over the 3-hour territory, but we were kind of, jumping in with our own little conversations, side conversations that, it's kind of what we do in Off Our Brains, but since this was a Siege episode, I wanted to focus. So that's going to do it for us. Thank you guys for sticking with us this long and listening to us. It was fun to, do this chat with ODC. And there's going to be more to come because, we're all stuck at home. This is like the perfect thing to do to get our minds off of what's been going on. So expect more. I've got some 1/18th scale stuff on the way very soon. So, until then, you guys have been great. Peace outside.